Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to the War Report, ladies and gentlemen. Your host, Aaron, otherwise known as Iceman. With me is Mr. Chill Out and the man himself, Maverick.
What's going
Gentlemen,
on, folks? I have got to give you props and salute yet again for that intro, man. The intro's outstanding, incredible. I watched every second I watch it. I have goosebumps on my hand, on my arm. So big ups on that.
appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Sure, sure.
And we recently have posted a message from Mr. Chill Out, and I think what I'll try to do is play that now, just so people can see it. It's posted on our page, but it's new, and it's in response to a recent event. So let me cue that up now. And
Good day, everyone. This is Mr. Chill putting in my perspective on the assassination attempt of former president, current candidate, Donald Trump. First, let me go by saying, our prayers go out to those injured and our condolences to those fatally wounded. Now, I have to say that our country was built on assassination attempts. Violence is in the creation of this land and the blood in this soil. If we want change, we must make change and create change, not stand by and wait for change to happen. These type of acts are spilling over to our innocent children, places to schools, daycares. We watch these crazy things on the news. What are we waiting for? Someone to come save us? We are each other's saviors. I want y'all to hop on board and understand this is just my perspective and how I see it. Even if you want to hear it or don't like it. Once again, Mr. Chill Out for the War Report.
so there you have it. That is the latest public service announcement from Mr. Chill Out about the recent tragic events here in America.
Kudos, Mr. Chill Out. That was wise words, my friend.
Thank
Excellent job. Well done. And I would
Appreciate it. Sadly, it is just the authentic truth of how I view it. But we have to move on and, like I said, create change, and we're doing that here in this community, in this space, and men bringing up men and women bringing up women and showing each other how to make a better way and a better day, moving on forward. But sadly, when I saw that, that's what I felt, to how things are in this country predating colonial times, pilgrims and Indians, and so on and so forth, and to the present day in time. Not saying that it's something to easily get over, but it is our past.
True indeed, true indeed. I will refrain from commenting on that particular topic myself. Fall out, but what I will say is on the same lines as you. I do believe that we all need to just try to step back and just connect and just really take a couple breaths here and just not let all this crazy stuff that we're seeing influence our behaviors, because that's what's happening. And for whatever reason, certain individuals have a big influence on a lot of people, and I wish this individual recognized the power that he had and he did, and that he did break the right things with it. That's what I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. I mean, either way you slice it, whatever side of the fence you come down on, I think Chill has it pretty much summed up. We got to unify. We got to come together as individuals to build families, which will build neighborhoods, which will build communities, which will build nations. Without that, we perish. And you know me, at the end of the day, I'm always down for the ride.
I think that's what we got trained to do, man. We're ready for whatever. I was taking inventory on a few things myself, just in case. I advise everybody listening to do the same.
Indeed.
If you're capable, be capable.
Topic of the day. First, let me shout out to the chat.
Shout out to the chat.
This every time. It's overwhelming to see the support, especially from these two individuals.
Oh, look at this! Oh, yeah.
Every week, from beginning to end. So I really appreciate it. And I
love you guys. You guys are awesome.
One more time. Just because we're starting, 2 viewers, man, and they're here. You know what I mean? Yes. They are here. So we appreciate y'all. We'll try to make it as entertaining as possible. Feel free to jump on
this subject.
Let me go ahead and put the link in the chat.
Sure.
Especially anonymized. This is going to be a show where we're looking for the ladies' perspective. I don't know if you saw Hamp's show yesterday. Was it yesterday? Where we were talking about men being industrious and resourceful and handy. There was some pushback around that, but that's going to be the topic of today that we're going to discuss. And female input's going to be really appreciated. I have maybe some people coming a little later on to join the show. Hopefully they're at work. When they get off, if they can come, and hopefully viewers will join in. If not, we can revisit this. But for now, I think it's worth talking at least with you guys to get you spun up and to get your opinions on the subject. I know what they are, but the world doesn't. So here we are. So what's been said by some people in this space is that the idea that a man should be resourceful and handy, being able to execute small repairs around the house with a vehicle, that whole thing is a thing of the past. It's played out, right? And I disagree. My stance is that a man should, to the best of his ability, at least be willing to learn his way around a toolbox. If a man's two primary jobs and expectations are to protect and provide, then you have to diversify the portfolio with which you do those jobs. And we can provide all the resources in the world, but how good are those resources if you're not resourceful? Meaning, you bought a house, that's great, but can you maintain the house? And how much is house maintenance going to cost you? It's bad enough that you have a need for insurance and homeowners warranties, and those are high dollar, services and repairs. But what about small stuff? Things right above changing a light bulb, placing batteries in your smoke detector. That shit adds up. If you, one of the statements I made was, if your wife has hair and does her hair in the bathroom, you are going to experience clogs at a rate of quarterly. You're going to be dealing with undoing a bathroom sink. Why pay a plumber who marks up his services, marks up the price on his, the resources that he uses, because he's got to provide for his family? Why pay for that when you can do it yourself? Get a wrench one time, get a roll of plumber's tape one time, and you're good. The time it takes for the plumber to get to you, you can have the job done, right? So it's not only saving time, saving money, and it goes from there. And the fact that that's no longer looked at with respect or any regard anymore is alarming. Well, that's what they say. I don't believe it, though. I think.
May I
women really still think that is a laudable skill set to have at any level. You got if you can't change a tire, what the hell are you gonna do? You're coming home from dinner and it's raining and you're on the expressway and you get a flat. You're gonna call AAA and sit there and wait with your lady in the car for an hour and a half, or you're gonna go out there and spend the 20 minutes, get the job done, get back in the car all wet and pissed, go home, and then she does what she does to restore your mind, body, and soul. Right?
Been there, done that. In that
Anyway,
situation,
what are you guys taking on it? You think
sorry,
it's
Will, go
lost
ahead.
a lost art? You think it's a played out trait to have, or do you think it's still something that
I think
separates men from boys?
all right, so we're going to stay on the tool analogy. I think it's a great tool to have in the toolbox. Now,
You're muted. I can't hear you.
Mic check. Can you hear me?
You can hear him? I can't hear either of you. Can you hear me?
Well, I muted myself because, like I said, I'm chewing, but I can hear I can hear and see Will fine, and you too.
Yeah.
Hey, chat, can y'all hear him?
Mic check. Can y'all hear me? It's only the third show. It's okay.
We're still working out the bugs.
We're still working out the kinks.
Never mind. I can hear you now.
You can hear me? Okay.
Okay, continue.
Back to I think it's a great tool to have in the toolbox. Now, I went back to the link of the show and took some reference, and I don't think it's an instant panty dropper. No, it's not like instantly, but I think that it accumulates into the romantic realm to be efficient. And back to your analogy of the fireplace, I think it all becomes situational, right? If you're in the city, chopping wood and creating a fire is not really going to be as romantic as in the cabin, out in the forest. It's cold, and then you're creating a cozy space. So I really think it's situational that is going to have it be more beneficial in other scenarios than in others. But I think it's a great tool to have in the background. Yes, you should be able to, and be resourceful. Yes, you should be able to change the tire in 20 minutes and not wait an hour and a half. If she's sitting in the car for an hour and a half, she's getting anxious and pissed off. If you got it done in 20 minutes and you're back on the move and on the road again, that creates a spark of conversation, and then you being who you are, you can kind of, how we say, seal the deal or create a romantic scenario out of it. Just another card to be played in your handy dandy notebook of cards to be played. So overall saying is, not beating this horse, yes, it should not be one that is just overlooked. It should have more value. Do the women see value in it? Like I said, I think it's all in the situation. If you're creating an instant gratification moment, it's cold, you made it hot, flat, no flat, I think you're winning.
What do you think the women are seeing or saying?
I think the women are, okay, older women see it differently, because I know that was also a viewpoint. Older women are going to definitely see it than younger women. I think older women see it as he's resourceful, and you kind of get more Insta credits than you would with the younger woman. Younger woman, that's going to accumulate over time. She's going to see that value over the view of time. But as I heard the argument, I think that as sometimes young men are losing the value of it. And they go, oh, if the females aren't bowing down to it, then it's worthless. I think that's totally wrong. I think that it's something that, once again, comes into in today's time, where that social area is kind of in a gray area because they don't want to deal with the rejection. I feel personally they're afraid of that, so they kind of like brush it off. But if you're confident in what you're doing, and you know that, and this is a female that you're in a relationship with, I don't think that it's going to create the instant panty dropper for just some random female. No, I don't think that. I think the females will see over accumulation of time how that resourcefulness is masculine and has a great efficiency in what they're trying to do in the overall game of if you're courting or in a long-term relationship with the female.
Jesse, what's your take?
I'm gonna brain vomit, and I'm going to just play the devil's advocate at the same time because this popped into my head today as I was walking around my house. So first off, to preface this, like I am all about do it yourself. That is what I do. That's from my car to my house, I love doing. Like, if I could do it myself, I will do it myself. But I'm recognizing the downside to that is that working on these projects at your house or on your car, that is very time consuming and it's taxing on your body. So, and then there are other things that I have to put on the side when I am doing these things. So one of the upsides to having somebody else do it for you, obviously, is having them do the work, having them put their time, energy, and their body on a line, to get what you need to get done, while you go and do other things like say if I was on here getting preparing for this show and doing stuff like that. But now on touching on what Will was saying, I would say as far as the ladies are concerned, I would say if you're with a lady and you were doing something like that for her, and if you're doing something like that for her and she's into you, she is going to respect that, and she's going to recognize that is a masculine trait, that a subconscious, and recognizing her subconscious that you're doing something, taking care of masculine business, I guess you could say, and that will touch on. I believe that will touch on something in her that will have her recognize that, and as you said, want to give her some incentive to make you feel better after everything is said and done. But yeah, I agree with Will 100% actually, because some ladies, actually all of us, we all were young. We all don't recognize the value of a lot of the stuff that we're doing. Like we saw our fathers do a lot of this stuff back in the day, and we paid it no mind. I can't say paid it no mind, but kind of, okay, he's over there, working on the car. I'm gonna go over here and play with my Legos, whatever, But little do you know, you're sitting there playing with your Legos. He's banging his hand on, against the engine block, trying to get the oil cap off or whatever, But as you get older, as you start doing these things, you get the experience in it, and you're like, yo, wow, there's a lot involved to this. This is just not something to shake a stick at. It's for better or for worse. And I believe that if you're in a relationship with somebody, that they'll see that they will see that too, and they will start to acknowledge that, even if they don't recognize that at first. If you're consistently doing that, they will eventually recognize that, and they will eventually respect it.
You said a couple of things that seem like they are not contradictory, but self-canceling, or one cancels the other. You said that doing these things is taxing on the body, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it takes energy and time and all this sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, you said that when a woman sees you, go through things, that she'd probably be more inclined to, conduct some repairs on you,
Mm-hmm.
out of appreciation, so to speak.
Right.
Is that not worth taxes your body and the toll your body pays to get the job done?
I'm gonna me personally, as a man, the incentive should not be. The incentive should be doing it for yourself and getting it done for yourself. And as a secondary, if your lady or whatever is watching you do it and she gets turned on by that and wants to do whatever afterwards, that's great. But I believe that the first incentive should be you wanting to get the job done for yourself.
So with those two incentives combined, does that nullify eliminating the burden it has on you by outsourcing the work?
I would say, as far as maybe as an energy and a taxing on your muscles and your body kind of a incentive. But as far as time, you can't, as far as time, you can't get that time back. As far as you could have been doing something else with that time if you're installing your water heater or whatever, or handling business, like somewhere else. But like I said, that's why I said I'm playing devil's advocate, because I'm all on one side. Definitely, I'm all on the do it yourself. But like every now and then in my head, as I'm doing this, I'm like, damn it, I really need to be, focusing on my finances right now, but I have to change my tire. You know what I mean? So that's the duality, the battle of that.
Is it worth, I guess, analyzing the job itself? I mean, because you're right. Time is a commodity that is limited in availability to all of us,
Mm-hmm.
right? And is it worth looking at whatever needs to be done and assessing, is it going to take more time for me to do it or outsource it? Is that a conversation worth having? I mean, with yourself. Because on the one hand, like you said, for one man to install a hot water heater, it would take longer than a professional team. However, it's not going to take you longer to change a tire than AAA to get to you and do the same thing, or to take a battery out of a car and put a new one in. If time is what we're trying to save, sometimes DIY is the time saver.
Yes.
Is that a conversation worth having within oneself? If time is that important?
I would say yes, because I do it all the time. Like, because I want to fix everything, but I know I can't. So I have to assess what I can do. Like, say, stuff like roofing things, like to get all the materials and to move all the materials. I don't have a truck. I don't have ladders to get up on the roof or anything like that. And I don't particularly like going up on ladders on roofs, as you know. So that job is going to get outsourced. Or sometimes it's jobs that I can do, but I just don't have the time to do it. But it's definitely worth assessing your tools, assessing your skills, assessing your time, assessing your money, and if it all equates, if it makes sense, go ahead and do that job. But if it doesn't make sense, hire somebody else or ask a favor. Ask a favor from one of your peoples or something to do it. And
We got some comments. We got some comments.
Yeah, can you see them across the screen, Jay?
I
I've been putting them up.
No, yeah, I can't. So I can't put them up like you can, right?
No, but you can see them though.
I can see. Yes, I can see. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. You read them? Okay, yeah.
Because I have to zoom out my screen to do it. But yeah, yep. Can't be had. What do you do? What do you do, Nita? Yeah. That is exactly what I would say, Miss Denise. Yes, totally agree.
Can you see on the screen where you're looking at us? Can you see that?
I can see. Yes, I can see when you. Yeah, I can see when you did that. When you
okay, yeah. Up. Yes. Okay, you've been able to see that all along.
Do that one more time. Okay, great. Yes. I like having my screen zoomed out
because I do that often.
When great. So in order for me to see all the comments, I have to make it small. But if you put them up like you do now, yeah, great.
I do. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I guess the next question is to both of you.
Will's got something.
Go ahead.
The two women saying, because that's what they are. Chat. If you can see them up in the live, they are women who are saying men need to be handy around the house and be resourceful. One says, "What can we have them around for?" And the other one is, "I trust them with my life." So women are saying that men need to be resourceful and need to be handy. It's a tool to have. I think it's the icing on the trust cake. Now, is it the main cake? No, but it's just the icing on the. It helps. Just say like that. But the point I'm trying to drive home is it doesn't hurt.
Oh yeah, right. It can't hurt you. Sure.
And I think that diminishes it a little bit. I think it's more than just the icing. I think it's a third of the cake. When it comes to trust, I think it maybe even be more. It's certainly half of the provide and protect story. Certainly half of the provide story, and a lot of the protect story. I mean, the trust that a woman would have is just making her life secure, making her life comfortable, and doing so in a manner where you're the only one, or she's the only person you're doing it for, right? So having fidelity, protection, and provision are the three cornerstones, I think, of where a woman's trust lies.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And two of those, the handy conversation definitely comes into the picture. And I think you either got to make a lot of money to where you got to outsource all that shit. But even then, now you're just making a lot of money to waste the money. Why not still not outsource a lot of what you can do and take that money and go take her to dinner or on vacation? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just to be efficient. And I think women see that and like that even more. I think it
Back to
weighs pretty heavy.
the water heater, right? If you can fix the water heater yourself, get dressed and then take her out to dinner with the money you just saved.
Right. I mean, and that's if it doesn't take enough time, right? I mean, there's levels. Nothing is absolute, is what I'm saying.
Right. Absolutely.
I'm not saying that these things are finite and definite. I'm just saying the willingness to increase your ability in this department will only help. And another thing that I notice, it's not. I don't say this with the expectation that there's going to be an instant result. I'm not saying I change the light bulb and she's going to want to have my children. You know what I mean? Like that night. No. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is knowing how to do these things in the long term will appeal to her primal nature, and it will increase your marketability if you're a single man. And it is something that is acknowledged and respected. And even if it isn't, it's a classroom with which you can teach women something. Because if there's another thing that I know women like as a man, and they can teach them shit. They like to learn shit from a man. And if you can show her these things that take more effort and take more resources to get done than she may be aware, and that you're capable of doing it, and showing her, that's going to turn her on even more. A lot of women today like to advertise the fact that they know how to change oil and change tires. And my daddy showed me shit. So what can you, like, you got to be able to beat that, man. And even if you can't, the next thing that they usually, I make enough money, I make my own money, I'll just call somebody to get it done. Again, you got to be able to beat that.
And you better not be that man sitting in the passenger seat while she's out there changing the tire on the side of the road.
Because I'll pull the fuck over and finish the job.
Oh my God! Yes,
that's ridiculous.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt.
So let's dumb it down even further. Pumping gas. I'm not even going to talk about who's paying for the gas and whose car you're driving. I don't give a shit. Pumping it. You're gonna sit in the fucking car and let her pump the gas? I don't care if it's a bright sunny day, 68 and sunny. I don't care if it's 0 degrees. I don't care if it's 120 and pouring rain. You're gonna let her get out of the car and pump fucking gas?
No. No. Never pumping gas.
Take out the trash.
That's insane, right?
That's another one.
And a woman, what do you think a woman's gonna look at that like?
She's way less than a man. I'll tell you that.
So I think the concept just grows and builds from there. Like, that's the beginning of it.
Sure.
It just gets more complex and more sophisticated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, and I liken it, with the protection piece. Your job is to protect. If a woman knows you can fire a weapon, you're going to feel pretty safe. if she knows you can rearrange a motherfucker's furniture, you know what I mean? You're a chef and your specialty is a knuckle sandwich, she's gonna really feel safe. If she knows you can shoot and kick ass, this is better. Same thing with provision. If you can earn money, great. If you can repair or fix or build or create, great. If you can earn money and save the money you're earning by building, fixing, and repairing things that are in your wheelhouse, it's a win-win
for everybody.
Yeah. So
now my thing I'm throwing out into the universe here is, I think that there's excuse me, ladies and ladies alike, there's a difference between female and women. And I think that is where
I'll tell you about this in a minute. Go ahead.
There's that difference there, right? Because some females aren't going to recognize the value of that, and women are, because they know, and especially if you're talking about women who have some life experience and understand what bills look like and taking care of themselves, and then to have the man be able to be handy and alleviate some of those issues and problems, no matter how big or small they are, or at least find a solution to fix them, or a way of getting them done at a low cost, or whatever the case may be. Having that kind of resourcefulness to get that done, I think, is overlooked. But if she has no idea of what that even entails, then it's going to seem minute in her world.
What makes you say that? Because I don't think it would be minute. I think it would be more intensely fascinating and impressive.
To some who recognize what it is, and a lot who don't.
Minority or majority? We don't say some. Remember, we're trying to.
Right.
Some doesn't move the needle. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like some ladies recognize, in my life experience, some ladies recognize everything that you just said, but a lot don't. So how am I supposed to say that?
Well, we were saying there's female and then there's women in this world, right?
Would you say majority of women would recognize it, or a minority of women would recognize it?
Let me think and draw.
I think that goes with the age bracket. Theory. I really do. I think there's a ignorance of sorts that don't recognize the value, and I think that is definitely experience based. I don't even want to say age based. I want to say experience based. And this is non-sexual thing. I'm talking about just life experience, going through things out on your own, buying your own groceries, refrigerator breaks, things of that nature, and going through trials and tribulations through life. Have you recognize? I'm going to have you recognize things in a different manner. It's like us as men. When you go through some trashy women or females, and you come across a good woman, you recognize her value, because you've now been through some things that you can understand are not good.
That's the point I was making.
Okay. Yes. Yep.
That's the contrast.
There we go. Okay.
So you're saying women do the same thing, like not having experienced it at all. The day they do, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, but before then, it's oblivious.
No, but that's all right. I'm not. That doesn't negate the point that a man should be interested and proactive in learning, because when it matters, right, is when she'll discover it, is when he does it. What she does beforehand and what she's recognized in the past should not really influence a man's decision. The knowledge of how she'll respond to it, even if it's for the first time in her life, is what should influence whether he sees value in it or not for her. You see what I mean?
I do, and I think where I'm gonna shoot back at it as is how many bad women does one go through before you recognize a good one? It's the same scenarios. How many times does he does such deed before she recognizes its value?
And I'll throw in
as many times as it happens before the good one shows up.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'll throw in how many times does a man do these things for the wrong women before he recognizes not to do them for the wrong women anymore either. I've been through the ringer with all
When the
that
right
shit.
woman shows up.
Yep.
But I think the answer is very clear. It's when the right one shows up.
Right.
Because that go, like you said, how else would you know?
Yeah, there's a reference point now, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying. There's a reference point. So what I'm saying is it would behoove men to increase their marketability to create the reference point in themselves.
I think in some of these young men, in majority of these young men, if it doesn't create instant goal gratification, it seems to be useless.
That's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
They have no long game. There's no longevity in that line of thinking. And that line of thinking is also very reductionist. It's not it's not an abundance mindset whatsoever. The expectation, the bar is low, if that's the thinking. If it doesn't have an instant effect, don't do it.
Well,
Even I,
then
as an
we'll-
efficiency,
And no, I said then it reverts back to how many times are you doing it for the wrong person till the right person comes along where it does give you that type of gratification or acknowledgement that you were looking for, right? Maybe you were just doing it for the wrong. I don't know. I don't even want to throw out a number and be disrespectful.
well,
And then
no, that's the. Go ahead.
I was about to say, and when that happens, it actually feels weird when you get when you get the right, when you really get the right acknowledgement for doing something like that. It doesn't even feel right, you know. It's like, whoa, hold on, what's this, you know? So
I don't think. So when you say how many times does it have to happen before it's acknowledged, are you saying how many times does a man have to execute this with a woman before it's acknowledged? Or how many times does a woman have to not see it before she's? I don't understand.
I think you're with.
seems-
I think we're with the latter, right? I mean, if you're screwing in a light bulb, you're screwing it in correctly because it turns on when you flick the switch, right? So I don't think it's about the action of the man. I think it's about the acknowledgement through the eyes of the woman. So it's not how many times does he screw in the light bulb correctly. It's whose eyes are he screwing the light bulb in front of.
Well, anybody that. So right, it seems like every time the man would do that, it at least would be acknowledged.
it should be.
I believe it would be. Now, whether that pays a dividend to him is another story. That depends on his relationship with her, right? And that's why I'm saying it's not an insta. It's not like screwing in a light bulb gets you laid. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not a 1-for-1 exchange. The relationship with her definitely has to be there. But I would submit that no matter what your relationship is, if you do something like that, she will see you as an asset. She will see value in that. And even if you don't have the kind of relationship that you can get laid with her, you made it one step closer.
Throwing this out there too, though, there are issues on both ends with that. With the men that they do these things for women. I don't know what the different tiers, women, lady, girl, whatever you want to call them, but for they do these things in hopes of eventually getting laid or whatever you want to call it. But then the woman, the lady, the female, there we go, female knows that she has no intention of going that route, but she knows that's where he wants to go, and she keeps allowing him to do that. Keeps stringing him along to do that. So I'd say, as far as the guy's concerned, on his end, he might need to recognize when that's happening, and cut that out. And then women just or ladies, that's part of their survival mechanism too, as you've touched on a lot, Aaron, in the past, like how women survive, So
Well, that's exactly it. She's leveraging something she has to get something out of you, which means she sees value in you. At that point, it's up to the man to be able to protect his value, which is something that women, that's how they leverage their value, by protecting it and making it scarce, making it, you know what I mean? Like dangling the carrot.
Yep.
So what I'm saying is being handy is actually a carrot you can dangle. Look here, lady. This is a second fucking light bulb. Lose my number. Matter of fact, you want one more light bulb to be changed in this motherfucker. You're going to have, right?
But are
Me
you
first
saying
next time, and then you know what I mean, or whatever. And I'm being hyperbolic and comedic, right? It's more nuanced and delicate than that. But I'm just saying,
Are you saying cut the check or get check?
Cut the check.
figure it out. But this is not a recurring, you know.
Right, it's not a
what I
one-way
mean? Like
thing here.
it's like the first date, a man pays, right? The second date, what was my rule? I ain't been single so long. The way I used to look at
least get
the
the
man
tip.
date, the first date, man pays, no questions asked.
Mhm.
Tip and everything. First date, the girl, you can leave your wallet at home. The second date, man pays for everything. He should offer to at least pay the tip or the valet. It's up to the man to reject that. I would on the second date. I said, no, I got it. But at least it's shown. On the third date, he should be offering something to pay the whole thing, to take him out, whatever. Again, it's in his it's up to him to accept. But if she hasn't done anything as far as the tip, date one, 2, and 3, there's no date 4.
No skin in the game whatsoever? Nah, man.
That's what I'm saying. There's no date 4.
Yeah. Yep.
Date 2, you ought to be anteing up to at least a tip just to show or to valid something. No, I got it, but thanks. Put your wallet away. I got it.
Mhm.
Third date, can I take you out? Well, sure. Then you go out. Or even if you set up the third date, look, let's go out for a third one. All right, be ready to pay the whole thing. He should at least, again, well, let me get the valet. And at that point, all right, you know what? Or if she says, let me pay the whole check. Okay, if you want, right? All right, I appreciate that. Good luck. The fourth date is yours. But if she pays all, okay. But even if you say no to all of that, there's still the fourth date. But if she hadn't offered shit, date 1, 2, and 3,
yeah.
No
what's the movie reference? And I don't remember the movie where he was like, open up her car door, and then she reaches.
If she don't unlock it, dump her. Bronx Tale.
Brooklyn, yeah. I said Brooklyn, Bronx Tale. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, put him in the bathroom. Get him out of here. Yeah,
I think that
now you can't leave. Yeah.
Code of ethics is kind of like, and maybe I'm using the wrong term here, but I think that's gone out the window, and I think it shouldn't be gone out the window. I call that characteristic behavior, and we all have them. And if they're displayed to not your liking, this is who you're going to deal with, right? Like you can't change the spots on the cheetah. You can read the cheetah's representative, but you can't change the spots on the cheetah. So I think that falls into that line, and I agree with that. What are her and his characteristics that are going to be who you're going to be dealing with? Is this person selfish? Is this person caring and nurturing? Is he selfish and self-centered? Is he only worrying about only one goal and not really being in a relationship with this person? I mean, when you're combing through the cattle per se, right? I get it because you're trying to find the right person. But when you come across the right person and you still have those type of characteristics, I think that's where the problem lies. But that type of code of ethics of finding out who he or she is gone. If she isn't opening up, if I'm a gentleman and I open up her door and she can't reach over to unlock mine, well, doesn't that say a lot?
So she doesn't care anything. Doesn't give a shit about you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, sucker.
Yeah, appreciate it. Right.
That's
but I think being handy and having these skills is just yet another crucible that you can use to weed that shit out. It doesn't have to come down to how many doors get open unresponded to. It doesn't how many dates get paid for, but how many light bulbs get screwed in and how many fire detector batteries get changed and how many tires gets rotated.
Absolutely.
It just gives you something else to experiment, to see where her loyalties lie and where, you know what I mean?
I would say gauge her character.
The gauge, right, exactly. So it has benefits across the board. It benefits you in the short term and the long term.
Mm-hmm.
And it benefits her if she knows what's good for her in the short term and the long term. And even if she doesn't, that's the short term benefit for you. It tells you early in the game, bugger off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to the whole my time is valuable shit. and my resources are valuable shit, rather than getting strung along date after date after date because she has you listed as lunch.
With an asterisk.
Oh, there's been in the past 2 months. There's been at least 3 in my experience. At least 3 that had to get put in the bathroom.
Yeah, you're right. You know, like you're not.
And I hate to say it, that like I think Will alluded to this, that the majority of ladies out here these days, man, that's how they are. It's kind of I feel in my personal experience that it's almost approached as if like you do these things and you're expected to do these things, and you're expected to do these things over a very long period of time with no reciprocation, with no skin in the game from her end. Like that is the mentality that I've been running into personally these days. And
What's the fix?
I was about to say that. Oh man, that's why we're here. I think our whole podcast, the duration of our podcast, for as many years as we do this, we'll be working on that fix, because it's complicated. Because the problem is very complicated.
I think being blunt is what the problem is the fix, right? People are afraid to throw their emotions out to on the front. Am I getting all right? And I'm be very, very raw here. Am I getting paid or am I getting laid? Right.
Right.
What is this? What's happening here? And we're putting our feelings on our sleeves and saying what's going on now. In my friend zone, then you need to cut a check every time I come out here, because that's cool. Or am I getting some? Because then I'll come out here and that's cool. But to leave the assumption out there then leaves for the unspoken expectations out there, which we know in our one live stream was said is a very dangerous place to be. I think people are afraid to speak their full intentions. Hey, I really like you, and I'm not trying to get paid. I'm trying to go somewhere with you and build a relationship with you, and I really like your demeanor. In return, no, I don't like you like that, but this light bulb costs $30 to change them all in the house.
Right, and so since you said that's a great fix, and my fix has been, like I said, for the past, was it three in the past 2 months or so, to walk away. Because like even the subject of friend even came up, and I had to say, like, yo, I'm not here to be your friend. Like that's not what this is. If that's what this is going to be, then let's go. But at the same time, I got to throw this out there too. At the same time, I notice ladies will throw that out there just as because they have to, like as kind of just to test your mettle, to see
why,
to test your core as a man, to test your resilience as a man. I would say to see to test to see if let's see. Well, for the friend thing in particular. First, one of the reasons I believe is because they don't want to seem promiscuous. They don't want to come off as promiscuous, especially in the beginning. The first date or two before things got physical or whatever. I believe sometimes that would be said in order not to seem promiscuous. And then, like I said, another reason, in my opinion, would be because they have to. That's one of the tests that that females do, and that's what females do is they test you. As they should, because it's in their subconscious. That's what they've been having to do since the saber-toothed tiger, woolly mammoth era.
I'm in movie quotes. There's another movie quote that goes, and I don't remember the movie, and I'm glad I don't, because I'm not going to shout out all these movies. Is we all like to fuck, we all hate to get fucked over.
Yes, yeah. I don't know what the movie,
but that's men and women alike. I think that promiscuous shit is like the 60s and 40s and so on and so forth. We know that women, as much as men, all like to have orgasms. Let's be real here. We are in 2024.
Who doesn't?
Right?
Sure.
Right. So being respectful and being sexual and being promiscuous all fall in different tiers in my eyes. Right. You can be respectful and sexual, right? And still hold yourself to a standard. You're not trying to sit here and sleep with everyone and everything,
Sure.
right? So I think that that's the way you travel down that road. And if women find you attractive, uh, and she alludes to that, well, then what's wrong with that? Now, if she's being outright, I don't want to use such harsh words, but if she's just being outright sleeping with everyone, well, that's a whole nother animal within itself. Just like a man, I don't hold men short from the same word. A man can be just as much as that a women can. If sleeping with 1,000 women, you're no different than a woman sleeping with 1,000 men. I don't care how anybody wants to put that or how they want to switch that from gender to gender. You should have value with oneself.
Sure. That's a lot of
Say
energy
that again.
transfer to be trying to keep track of. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, and sleeping with all kinds of, from a man's perspective, sleeping with all kinds of women, that just takes too much energy, man. Like going out to go meet the woman, then you have to make the arrangement, during the arrangement, after the arrangement. It's just this is way too. Dealing with one woman doing all that stuff for me is enough energy for me, man. Dealing with multiple ones at the same time, and I've done it before, but it's just it consumes a lot of energy, and you're transferring a lot of sexual energy as well. It's no bueno.
Yeah, well, I'm not interested in polygamy or infidelity for that very reason, because I just don't have the fucking bandwidth to be dealing with multiple,
Oh man,
the psyche of multiple women. That to me,
that's where the term pimping ain't easy came from.
fuck no, right? But no, yeah, I don't have it. But what? Jesus, no. But well, what did you say? You said what's good for the goose, good for the gander. You said what?
What?
Oh
Oh,
no, what I was saying about men and women alike with their sexual uh, needs, I guess, right? And then towards the end, I was saying that you should have uh, accountability for your amount of like your sexual partners, I guess, in a way, like man and women alike. Just spreading yourself thin in that area is
What does that look like? Like, what do you mean? Like, to what end? What
like
purpose?
I'm saying, like the women sleeping with 1,000 men and the men sleeping with 1,000 women. Like you're exuding the same energy.
Who? What do you mean
Both
exuding?
men and women alike are both putting out the same sexual energy, wasted, I guess, is what I'm getting at, right? Wasted energy.
How is it? Elaborate. How is it a waste for women and how is it a waste for men?
You are running off of a, my personal opinion, non-committed factor. You just trying to get your rocks off.
from both
And
parts.
well, yeah, from both parts.
Okay.
And you're not looking for anything else other than that, right? Now you're, I don't want to say spreading yourself thin. It's a horrible choice of words. But you're putting out this energy that you're really not look like it's emptiness, trying to fill up a strainer, per se, in this soul searching thing of life that I've sort of kind of get on now. And my older wisdom was like, uh, how many women did you just chase for the thrill of the chase? And the headaches and the energy that you put out that you gained nothing in return but some tail. In the
You think?
overall, oh, no, I'm saying in the overall bigger scheme of life, the tail half the time wasn't even worth it.
And normally, when you do that, you're trying to fill a cup that can never be filled.
What cup? What I'm
You feel you. I feel you. I see where you're coming from. But I think what Will is, well, from what I see, Will is saying is that both parties being empty is the people that do that solely go out and be promiscuous and do that. They're trying to, for whatever reason, whatever kind of trauma they may have had in the past, that they're trying to use sex to fill this emptiness, this missing part that they have. And that's what I meant by saying like using that as trying to fill a cup that just can never be filled, because that's the wrong way to go about it.
You think that's what men do?
Sure.
Chill.
Yeah, I do. I think men and women are guilty alike.
No. Men. We'll get to that in a minute.
All right. Men. Yes, men do that.
How does sexual experiences repair a man's trauma? Or how is it perceived to be able to do that?
I let them do it.
All right. Well,
Either one.
Speaking from, it's you get over the next one by being over the next one.
Get over the last one by being under the next one.
Over the next one. Yeah, we're over.
Get over.
Over. It's over.
Oh yeah.
I'd say it's a temporary fix for a more complicated and long-term solution that is needed.
It sounds like you guys are saying that men through sex are seeking some kind of spiritual replenishment or companionship.
And maybe, I mean, like I said, I don't like, psychology is very complicated, and
it could be a euphoric chase, and it has more to do with the moment of the experience than the longevity of its actions. Just like drug abuse, it will fix nothing but make you feel great in the moment.
So that begs the question, why does it have to be something that fills a strainer? If it's only meant to be temporary and its value is temporary, why have the expectation for anything enduring with it? Where's the loss?
Because you chase a euphoric high
by getting to the next one. So it seems like promiscuity among men, or moving through a higher volume of women among men, is the answer, because if the best fix is the next fix, and you keep getting fixes, you keep solving your problem. Seems like the moment you stop is the moment the problem stops getting fixed.
When do you focus on yourself?
I would say that doesn't fix the root of the problem. And
well, what is the root? That's what I was saying.
That could be many things. Whatever kind of childhood trauma you may have not gotten over. Who knows? Who knows? But underlying issues that need to be treated via therapy, I would say.
No one taught you how to use the tools in the toolbox, stepping on the topic of today, right? You know, a lot of things could come into play of why you don't want to self-evaluate, and then you look for these moments of euphoria in these women to temporarily fix it. But yeah, I agree with the Maverick 1000%. It doesn't fix the deeper root problem.
Doesn't it seem like, though, chasing women forces you to self-evaluate quite often? Because women, after all, are a litmus test to see just how valuable or capable you are.
Oh, you're right. And one
you
of those,
have to deal with rejection.
Right. And yeah, and
rejection is a big part of that.
You become, once again, I'm telling you, hey chat, I'm in movie time tonight. All right, hit the like button and subscribe. I'm in movie time right now. How to be a player, right? He was a different motherfucker for each of these ladies. Mm-hmm. No way he was himself. For all these women, he was someone else. So how can you get to the root of you if he was speaking Jamaican to the Jamaican girl, he put on an English accent for the lady from the British, and so on and so forth? It's like when you meet these women, you put on these masks to attract the women what you think she may like, and never find out who you really are. when you self-evaluate, and once again, my personal opinion, and you know what your standards are or what you will or will not take, you could go ahead and we'll allude back to the beginning of this stream was now you can tell her to kick rocks because that's the shit I'm not dealing with, right? You can go back to that. But if you're just chasing women, you're going to go and put on this mask for this woman and this suit for this woman, and all of a sudden your stupid ass like tennis for this chick, and use a fucking PGA golfer for this woman, and you all these other things, but the original you.
But doesn't that take a great sense of knowing who you are to be able to know exactly where to deviate from? What I'm saying is there has to be a reference point. It seems like if you're finding yourself, you're not going to be able to look at what it is that you need to be, because you got to know what in yourself you need to avoid. And you're doing these things to avoid the things that you know within yourself won't work. You know what I mean? Like, I can see that she likes an athletic motherfucker, and I'm not athletic, so I better start learning a sport that I can kind of sort of play. I'm no good at basketball and football. I'm going to get my ass murked. But nobody really plays soccer around here, so if I kick this ball around, if I can bounce it on my head, she'll be amazed. So I'm going to go learn soccer. But I did that because I know I ain't nobody's athlete. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
It seems like knowledge of self, like nothing puts a man in the mirror more than chasing women. You get to know who the fuck you are and what you're worth when you go chase women. They will not let you get away. It's the other way around. See, women are and have their egos inflated by men. Have you ever told a woman that her shot was whack?
No.
Hell no. Women say all of it, it's a matter of fucking funny for them. That you know what I'm saying? Like women don't properly evaluate themselves. If you ask a woman on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you? Oh, I'm a 10.
Everybody's a 10.
Well, nigga, you what? How is that possible? Well, I'm a 9. Try again. You know what I mean? But a man is more likely going to accurately evaluate himself. For example, if you were to ask me that question, I'd say I'm about a 4.
You ever notice women never use that scale?
There's a reason, because they don't, right? But men do, because we are acutely aware of where we stand, because we chase women. They're the litmus test. They don't let us forget. So it seems I don't know. I don't know if it's therapeutic as much as it's a gauntlet.
And one it does feel like a gauntlet, but one thing, kind of a side note that I will throw out there from some experience, in that as you're going out there pursuing ladies, pursuing women, whoever, that we would think that I'm going to go for this 6 over here, because that 10, she's out of my league.
I'm not on habit, right?
Yeah, right. But what I'm saying is that what will work for the 6, what works for the 1, will work for the 10. It's all one and the same.
Not necessarily.
Well, not necessarily. I'll say not necessarily, but as far as men going out there, like the way we see it, you don't need to be as intimidated as you think pursuing just going after 6s, 7s, and 8s than you would going for a 10. It's like as far as the initial interactions and what works, as long as she's into you and if she's attracted to you, it will work. And those attractions,
100%.
1 to 10, as far as that scale is concerned.
No, 100%. I'm not suggesting. So when you say the word intimidated, I don't think men get intimidated.
Not intimidated. It's just a word. It's a word I was looking for that did not come.
Yeah.
To mind. Not intimidated, but like
discouraged.
Just discouraged, or just
discouraged.
I'd say just discouraged from going for what the man would really want, what he really finds attractive, as far as what he sees in a 10. Yes.
I think what we should do, and I think most men do this, is they go into the situation with at least confident men anyway, go into a situation with a shotgun. We're going to throw all the shit at the wall. What sticks is what we deal with. But so what that says is you go in with managed expectations. If there's a collection of 10s in here, a rack of 9s, shitload of 8s. Half the place is filled with 7s. It's populated by 6s
Mhm.
and 5, right, all the way down. We're going to go at the 10s that seem to be available. And when we get rejected, very well. We don't even have time to order a shot to drink that one off. Straight to the 9.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we check down
Right.
until we stop. We go from the top down.
What's a 10 anyway?
Well,
That's
Are we
relative.
talking about looks? Are we talking about looks?
Oh, well, initially, yes.
Well, how do you judge women?
Interaction, I would say yes.
Well, first,
how do you judge women?
First, obviously, looks is going to be off of the first one, right? But she could get downgraded off of her personality.
It happens all the time. Yep.
But that's further in the conversation.
Yep.
Oh, that's a few sentences in.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you are at a point where you're figuring that out, then you have her attention. So it doesn't at that.
Okay, say she looks as a 10, right? And you go in, because really I'm all about personality and looks, but personality is going to be definitely, because she may look great, but if I'm talking about I want to hang around this person, she also has to have a great personality. I want to be around this person. Now, do I just want to smash it? Well, then I'm going at that also in a different realm altogether.
Sure.
That's the direction that. See, so that's the direction that I'm saying. What is the loss that a man suffers by going at more women? Like, what's the drawback? What's the what's the loss?
You get experience. That's it. That's not loss, but you just gain experience from that. The more you go, the more experience you gain.
That's it.
But you
don't lose yourself.
No, you get better. You get better.
You gain.
You get better. Your gain. Here's why you get better. Because first, you get more confident because your list of results has lengthened. A confident man is a man that has done this many times before and it has worked. Hold on. Yes. After a while of getting results, a man's confident. Not only that, he knows exactly what works and what doesn't for what he's working with. He can slot himself right in. He's efficient, right? And he can work through the red flag. He's also going to be good at spotting the women's shit that they use to leverage against us. He's not a greenhorn anymore. He's not going to be friend zoned as quickly because he saw that shit in the past coming at him where he was going to get taken advantage of. Maybe he's gotten taken advantage of and he worked himself backwards away from that. You can only get this through experiencing more and more women, through failing and succeeding, what works and what doesn't. I think it's a win-win for a man.
How about for women? Because we alluded.
It's a lose.
Why? She's not gaining experience.
Think about it.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Think about it.
Experience. She's not seeing.
No.
I think I know where you're going to go with this, but
niggas ain't running bullshit on me. I can tell when this nigga's just trying to gas me up for some chops.
No. It's not. That's not going to help her at all. You know who's going to help her with that? One of the cats in the friend zone.
One of the many cats in the friend zone. More than likely.
You talking about Philip the light changer?
Among other things. I mean, think about it. He's going to know what bullshit is and what isn't. So he can either vet for you, and that's the last thing you should be doing with him. You should be considering him. What the hell are your intentions anyway? Because he seems to be in there for a bit of the long haul. He seems to be willing to sacrifice for you and your attention without getting much in return. So imagine if you give him something, he's more likely to get dug in.
Do you think women look at men?
After all, they say you're dug in with a friend, right?
Do you think they look at them as clingy?
I don't think they. No, No,
Is that why they don't give him?
because a man in the friend zone is not going to be clingy. He's a friend.
Yeah, but if he's sticking around without getting any and it's just on call, does that start to create red
Exactly.
flags?
On call. She's calling him, which means he ain't clinging.
But he's
on
there.
call.
He's still there. He's still available.
Right.
Yeah.
No, all right, now
He's available.
If she gives him some, is that going to make him a stalker?
Why would it?
Why
Well,
would-
stop. Wait. What? Wait. First of all, what if if her intention is to dig in with this guy? How can something stalk you that you dug in with? You would have to separate.
He becomes more attached.
If that's what she wants, which it should be, which is why I'm saying now you see why promiscuity doesn't work for women. Because if she wants to go in the friend zone to just fuck, or out of the friend zone to just fuck, those are the things that she has to think about. Clinginess. But if she gets into the friend zone and gets attached, clinginess, the worry of that going out the window because you clung to him. But that's the reduction of promiscuity for.
He's clinging to her. He becomes a stalker to her. Like he becomes a little bit
What I'm saying is
ambitious.
He can only become a stalker if she wants to create distance and separate. Can I stalk my wife?
Yeah.
No, I mean without you. But let's be realistic. Mr. Chill out. We're not talking about serial deleters here. All right, we're not talking about news headlining people. This is normal folks. All right. If a friend zone dude is, we're not talking about Hannibal Lecter.
I was about to say you're in the same apartment. You can't stalk your wife. Man.
Yeah, you can't. Don't. Let's not.
You can follow her on Life 360 and all that other mess.
Yeah, you can move the line all you want. You can't move it that far. You know. So I'm just saying, it's like
I had to lighten it up a little bit.
No, you know why? Because you started with the word clingy, and then you moved to stalker, and now we're in places that are dark.
We really dark. Really
keep it clingy.
Keeping it clingy.
No. Back to your question. No, you cannot stalk your wife. You're in a married relationship.
You're right. That's what I'm saying. So when you're in a relationship, when you're dug in with one another, right? The potential to become clingy goes away by virtue of the fact that you're already in close proximity. The clinginess doesn't really manifest until you create distance. And men don't necessarily have a natural propensity to be clingy, even if they're friend zone. And if they are, right, that's going to be a rare case. But I will say this, the more sexual experiences, encounters you have, the greater you increase your chances of meeting someone clingy.
I will
if you keep that number low, you keep the probability of meeting a clingy motherfucker low.
As you were saying that, one of the ones that had to get put in the bathroom these past couple months, during that friend zone conversation, it did come out that the reason that came up was because there were dudes in the past that were Hannibal Lecter, dark, stalker, clingy level type dudes, and did some wild stuff.
Minority, Aaron. Unfortunately, the minority of men who respond that way are out there.
Yeah, very, 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 very small minority, right? But still.
And I'm not Mr. Statistic.
We don't need to be.
No, me neither. I'm just talking from life experience but myself.
There are out there. So that's what I was saying with her and her promiscuous ways and where that would be a negative for him and her in that sense.
How is it a negative for him?
Because he's the clingy. He's the Klingon out here.
No. For him to be promiscuous is going to take him away from
her being promiscuous, him being the Klingon. is the negative for him.
Well, then he needs to get to being promiscuous.
I was about to say the roles are reversed in that case. The roles
He needs to get a
reversed.
cracking.
No, in the role, but if the roles are reversed, then you calling her a 5-star, and you trying to block her on everything available underneath the sun.
If she's clingy and he's not, and he's screwing, doing his thing in the world, and she's
Before they were a couple.
that's fucked up for her, but it doesn't take anything off of his plate. It doesn't damage his situation. It's fucked up for her, but she shouldn't be sleeping around. The chances that you sleeping around, you're going to find that quicker. Which is why I say it's not promiscuity for a woman and promiscuity for a man are not the same. It's bad for a woman.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there.
It puts her in fucked up situations. It builds a man. And you know where it starts? For the promiscuity to even happen. Think about it. For a man to get ass, what does he have to do? Produce.
Mm-hmm.
For a woman to get ass, what does she have to do? Get produced upon.
Yeah, she got to be there.
Be there. That's it.
Show up to the
So
party.
It's already far more difficult for a man. It's training. He has to build himself. To be able to do that successfully and consistently, he has to also build himself in other areas of life.
You have to take a lot of rejection
To be able to stay in that game. Where a woman, to be able to do that successfully, is only being taken away from the things in her life that build her. It's time spent away from doing what you need to do to be a hell of a catch. There's nothing about a woman being in the bed is building her for a husband. But for a man to be in a bed with a woman is being built for a wife because he had to learn, he spends money and he has to replenish his money. He has to become more resourceful, more confident, know himself more, study women more, study a woman's psychology and know what she likes and doesn't like more.
Study men's psychology to get to know yourself better and why you think the way that
That's what I'm saying. Get to know himself more. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
You build a greater knowledge of self. And because women are going to they are going to force you to know exactly who the fuck you are. Because when you go to say, hello, hi, how are you? Can I have your number? No. Damn. Well, what do I say? You know what I mean? A man has to it's a gut check. Men face rejection. Oh, you know what it is. You're a man.
Yeah.
If you have a 30% closing rate, you're a fucking god.
Like I said, it takes
If
a
you
lot
get
of
3 out of 10, you're doing well.
It's a numbers game, and you get
Yeah,
turned
if
down
you go
a whole
out
lot
and
more
ask
than
for
you get
10 numbers,
Well,
Yeah.
you're going into the Hall of Fame for a great batting average, aren't you?
30%. That's what I'm saying. You ask for 10 numbers one night and you get 3.
and then God forbid you follow up and have at least one callback and be, and be lucrative. One.
If you ran that Friday night, Saturday night, Thursday night, that's 3 guarantees in a week where you got 3 numbers a night and 1 each called you back. That's 3 new pieces in 1 week. That's Idris Elba type shit.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But for women, 30% hit rate, right? Is nothing. Like any woman can get in her phone. Yeah, come on, man. It's not making her a better wife. It's making you a better husband. And it's not necessarily the actual sexual part, right? It's everything leading up to it. It's the work needed to be done to get to the end goal. And at the end of the day, the end goal, the actual sex, doesn't diminish a man or compromise a man because we don't really get the emotional attachment. It compromises a woman because it gets followed up with an emotional attachment. Now she feels committed because on the front half of this ordeal, she already had to save herself from looking promiscuous. I can't look like I'm out here loosey-goosey. So now that I've fucked you, I can't be made a liar. I actually have to dig into you now. Like you have, my name is on the line now because I've been bedded down with you. Like my reputation, like you now have to deliver. Like people are looking for women, but for men, I don't give a fuck. Oh, you hit? That's what's up. And you hit another one tomorrow. Damn, you the man. How you doing it? A woman can't do that because then what's the point in acting like I'm not a hoe at first meeting? Live in your truth.
Be the hoe.
Be the
that you
hoe.
are.
Just be the hoe. Put that on the
But
t-shirt.
they don't want to do that because they can't do that because they know what it is. They know it's a reductionist
So you saying a man can't be
approach. He's a no.
Can't.
No. He is an indoctrinator of hoes. You find if a man finds a promiscuous woman and hits her, then he's pushing her deeper into hoe land.
Into hoedom?
Into hoe. If the threshold of being a hoe is 5 new, Roscoe's a year. I don't know what the number. I'm just right for the sake of five new Roscoe's a year, and she's at 4 this year. The man that is number 5 pushed her into hoedom.
Looking at it from ones and zeros, yeah, you're right. Yep.
Now, how does that denigrate a man? Let's say a man has 30 new women in 1 year. And is capable when marrying of being 100% faithful, loyal, digging in. How does that benefit his wife? I mean, how does that harm his ability to be a husband? I can tell you how it benefits.
That man's
because the wife gets to say, aha, I got the one thing all 30 of you bitches couldn't get. This nigga to stop all that shit and get locked down with me only. A woman wants a man with a rack with a fucking dictionary of names. Because if she's the woman that can stop that shit, if you can stop that runaway train, you a hell of a woman.
Emphasis on dick. Yep.
Now the woman's reputation is on the moon. I got the one thing from him all you broads tried to get.
And that's real to social proof.
That's saying he's 100% faithful, so on and so forth.
I'm saying if that's the case, right? And you know what? I'm not saying that I was Hugh Hefner, but I'll tell you what. Like I said earlier in the stream, I'm not interested in another female psyche in my life. I've had enough. I got the one that I want. I got the one that I like, and I'm dug in with the one. She don't have not worry in the fucking world. She couldn't push me out the door into another woman. Nope. You the one. You good enough. More than you. All I need, you the icing and the cake. We good.
The plate.
90% of that is because that's really who she is. But the other 10% is because I'm sick of them. I've had enough. Been through enough.
And as far as the general population, I'll say this shit has not gotten any better. As far as
there's no curiosity in my mind. Yeah. Even if she wasn't who she was, I don't have any curiosities.
Maverick,
they've all been.
You're out here. How's it looking out here? Because you're out here.
It's a crapshoot. It's a shit show. It's helter skelter, man. It's a war. It's a war zone in itself. That could be a whole podcast.
Out here in these dating streets.
Out here in these post 40 dating streets. Man, they need to be repaved. They need to get black top put on them, all that.
Sound like you need to get the fucking.
Oh man, well, and
you know what I mean?
Not that I haven't been, but man,
right? No, yeah. But in times of famine, what do? Store food, eat.
That's it. Then, like I said, the energy that you had to put out when you were single, you remember that, and that was immense. We were.
It was nuts.
Right now, I can't even put it on a scale, man. It's at least times 5. If not times 10, that amount of energy with I can't even. I'm not going to get on a soapbox about that, but it's a mess.
What's the age range of? And I'm not talking about the youngsters, fresh out. I'm talking about what's the age range of single women you've been finding, and is there diversity in attitude between these women, along with the age that you find that you gotta switch your game up per se?
Oh boy, you're gonna get me skewered on here, man. But that's okay. I got you.
No, no, be nice. That's
No,
all.
no, no, kind. I'll be kind. No, so the age range is I've always dated either a little bit older than me to maybe 5 to 10 years older than me. So right now the age range would be between like 35 and 50. Yes, just maybe just above 50. And I would say, as far as the attitudes that you said, like the attitudes of everybody, well, not everybody, but of the age range that I've been dating. Oh man, they I would say they've in that age range. It feels like they have been compromised a lot, and like there's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of unspoken trauma running around, and I have to say I have my own too. Nobody's perfect. I know I have my own, but I know, and I do my best to work on it, and I do my best not to project it out onto people, and to let it leak into potential romantic relationships. But it seems that these ladies, that word accountability, that is not in their dictionary, not at all. Um, and yeah, like I said, I'm tiptoeing around. I'm trying to be as kind as possible.
No,
But
so back to our original topic is do you see a difference of appreciation in the handyman shit and what you bring to the table between that 35-year-old and that silver fox out there?
I'm going to say the silver foxes would be the ones to appreciate it more. And then and as you get younger, like even mid to late 40s, even mid to late 40s don't have the appreciation. Our generation, I don't believe many of them have the appreciation. They don't recognize. But and as bad as this is to say, they would recognize it more than ladies that I was younger. And I don't even want to know what it's like dating ladies that would be younger than me, because some. No, I'm going to stop there. I'll stop there.
Okay.
But
jump in, Aaron. Jump in, Aaron.
It's a mess, though. It is a mess. Like, be glad you're married. Be glad you're in a steady relationship, because it is. I can't emphasize how bad it is. Like, for real. Oh my God, it's terrible.
So let's breach that, because, and I don't know that you have to be, just let it fly. I don't know that you have to be restrictive with what you're saying if it's true, right? Just don't be deliberately.
I'm not gonna say names or anything, but
No. Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's your life experience,
sure,
it is that. But I think it will help the conversation, especially when it comes back down to the topic
sure.
of, is it a loss, or is it a dying asset for a man to have, to be resourceful and industrious? Right?
To answer that, I would say, like I said in the beginning, as a man, you need to be doing these things with yourself in mind, and getting these skills with yourself in mind, because as you build these skills, as you build yourself up, especially if you're moving towards your purpose or whatever your calling might be, that you'll naturally attract women towards you, the right ones and the wrong ones. And so, and a lot of them, in those numbers, a lot of them won't. I believe more of them won't recognize that, but then there's going to be some that will.
You said the majority won't recognize it.
From my life experience, from what I've been seeing and experiencing myself, and from people that I know, no.
Do they not recognize? Is it that they don't recognize it, or is it that they act like they don't recognize it so that they could leverage
Ooh.
to get it?
I believe they don't care to recognize it. The ones that don't seem to care to, or even know, even know to recognize or what to recognize.
So if they've seen it, if they've seen a man with an ability, right, a DIY kind of an ability, if they don't recognize it, then they wouldn't come back to it.
Exactly right.
And so you're saying that they don't even come back to it. They don't lean into it and seek more of it.
Some do. But,
No, the majority you said don't.
See, right. The majority don't, but some do. There are a few that do.
Well, then
some is a very
Minority.
yeah, that's the minority. But I'm saying the majority that you say don't. What I'm asking is that entire population, they don't come back and seek it.
If they do, they do it from a place of like you said, I believe you said, I can't remember which conversation, but as just a resource, as a Roscoe who can fix a car.
So they do see value in it.
Just yes, in that, not the value in you, but the value in that action. Yes.
That's the value in you because you're the one bringing the action. They came back around to you to get it.
Yes.
So they see value in it. They're just not paying it. They're not paying the bill.
Right.
So to acknowledge it and I think the word isn't that they're not acknowledging it or that they don't realize it or value it. They're not appreciating it.
They're not appreciating it. Yes.
Now that's a different story. But that's kind of up to the man then. But I think women will naturally recognize that shit on sight. And if they recognize it and acknowledge it, the value in it, they're going to come back around for it.
Sure.
And try to capitalize again.
Yeah, and as a man, you need to realize when, that cycle and put a stop to it is the minute you...
When appreciation doesn't enter the picture, that's when you're up to go, no, this date 4 don't exist.
And unfortunately, so the way how fucked up the game is now, there's been a couple situations where I may have been the one to leave too early, but it just comes but a lot of these behaviors come across as the entitled behaviors that drive men away, and sometimes maybe they don't even know any better. Maybe they don't even know what they're doing.
So who's responsible for that? For this being the case? Because I think we've established that there's still value in this.
Yes.
Seen by the women. Now it's whether or not it's being mistreated, great. But if it is, who's responsible for that? Women for mistreating it, or for the men for no longer thinking that there's value in it to begin with, and therefore letting it be mistreated or not getting into it at all?
Go ahead.
I was about to say, I'll just quickly say it's the men for allowing it, and for because men for. I'll just leave it at that. Men for allowing it. Yes.
Listen, now the movie referenced that they had no coconuts. No coconuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And to draw the line in the sand and be like, hell no, I am not. What is it? Simp? I am not. Simp.
I was about to say, this segues into the whole simping conversation now. That's
not
this
the
whole
simp
conversation.
You think that is right. Not me. They allow it. You'll only be used or abused as far as you allow yourself to be used or abused. If you don't draw the line in the sand, the woman's gonna walk all over you as much as you allow her to walk all over you. It's
Yeah, if you allow it, your ass is grass.
Yes, and believe me, like I have been the simp for a long time. Don't get it twisted. I'm gonna keep it 1,000.
No, we all have.
And yeah, and that's how you learn your lessons. And some
Right.
learn sooner than others. But
Right.
like you said earlier, you do a certain thing so many times, and you see certain behaviors, then like okay, that's gonna lead up to that. I'm not fucking with that anymore. I'm out. So yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. It is men's fault, and I think it's a double-edged sword.
Mhm.
First, it's the men's fault for letting the numbers dwindle, for the amount of men that can be handy going down. So we're more rare.
Mhm.
And what I think what that did is what's left, the men that can be handy see it as a greater commodity because it's a more rare commodity. And they think that if they apply it, they'll eventually win from it. But what it does, unfortunately, is put them at the crap table. They gamble their money away.
Mhm.
I'll hit on the next one. I'll hit on the next one. I'll hit on the next one. I'll hit on the next. Meanwhile, you got your ass on a lead, on a tether,
Sure.
going down the fucking street
Sure.
because the man is simping out, thinking not many niggas are doing this. She'll come around. No, she won't, because you're not making her.
She'll.
But if the streets were flush with men that were capable of doing this, that knew how to be, handy, and also knew the value of that. Yeah, I got your light bulb one time. Every man in the street. On the second light bulb, what are we gonna do after this light bulb? Every man in the street.
Sure. Yep.
They would appreciate that shit. And you know how I know? Because they do it with a thing called the box.
That's it. Yeah.
They all got it. We all want it. And they know exactly how to get what they want with it.
Hey, just being devil's advocate to Joshua, who's on the show, have they weaponized the box? Is that what's
some
You
have?
want me to answer that?
I say some have, and some do. Well,
yeah, I do. I want to hear your opinion on that.
The world's second most effective weapon is the nuclear warhead. You want to know what the first most effective weapon is?
The box.
Yeah.
Every war was fought over it.
Oh, no.
Every nuclear warhead that was detonated on behalf of it.
Of the box, huh?
It is the reason why men fight.
I'm messing up a quote here, but I had a friend I worked with. He was from the Caribbean. He had a quote that said something to the effect of, I'm trying. I don't want to say the word. One vagina hair is strong enough to pull an 18-wheeler. Like that. Like that's how strong. That's how powerful that thing can be. So, like I said, I messed the quote all up, but do you get the context?
No, we get the gist.
Which is why promiscuity don't work for them.
Right?
Is it because it already has too much power?
Yeah, you're lessening. Yeah, you're reducing the caliber of the bullet, making it more available like that. The most powerful weapon is a nuclear warhead. How many do we detonate? The least powerful weapon is a damn 5.56 millimeter bullet. How many of those have been discharged?
Okay.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, you're right.
I see.
Count on one hand
The
with the
more
warheads.
more it's tossed around, the less valuable it is.
Yeah.
The more we toss ourselves around,
The better we get.
The more valuable.
Yes.
The more we learn, the harder we work or are willing to.
Charles used this analogy.
The more we know ourselves, the more we know them.
My man right here, that's the
Take-
sayings do, right?
Yeah.
The more experience they get, the stronger they get. You know what I mean? That's how we do.
And the more the more tired we get. So when we do lock in, the less likely we'll step out. We're less curious. It's not the variety of available women out there that we haven't been with has been reduced. So they're not curious. Like, well, what's that one like? No, I've had it before. I know that one's a pain in the ass.
Oh man, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't. You're worn out. You don't.
Yeah.
say
Yeah,
the checklist is
the streets will
is
tear your
got a
ass
lot
apart,
of them
man.
checked off.
Yeah, no, this one right here is good enough. Just this one,
Mhm.
I got everything I need right here. I'm
That's
cool.
it. And
I'm good here.
if she could give you peace, man,
That's the kicker. That's you
it.
looking for that more than box.
You're right now. Yes, that's even more important
Right.
than the box right now. It's peace.
But if you've only had 3 in your life and you're 40, you're gonna have a lot of curiosities
Ooh.
that you're gonna want satisfied.
man.
Fuck peace.
And there's unfortunately there's some men out there like that even worse situations too. Which I don't know any, but they're out there, man.
No,
They're
you're
gonna
right.
they're gonna
That
they're
point-
either gonna have curiosities or they're gonna be damaged. They're really gonna
Yeah.
they're
'cause that
gonna be clingy.
reference points is key for men our age for sure.
That's it.
Especially when it comes to that.
The reference, no, especially that. Like we're
That's it.
homing in right on that. That reference point changes how you view the woman you're with for sure. For sure. So it's like if you don't
Salute
have a
Charles.
reference point, salute Charles. If you don't have a reference point, you definitely gonna be out there head on the swivel, looking to see if there's anything. But once you have a reference point and you know who you're looking for and you found what you're looking for, you're right. Your binoculars get put up, and you don't even put them on the shelf. You throw them in the trash. Like I don't even need
Throw them
them.
out. Because
Yeah.
you know who you are, what you want, what you like most. You've obviously found it in this woman that she can provide most of that. So anything else is going to be a downgrade anyway.
That's it. And a waste of energy.
Yeah, it's not worth the energy to see if it's an upgrade because look, you working with 8 out of 10, and you've only seen this one other time in your life, and that one you almost tried to kill. Everything else has been 7 out of 10 or less. Why? Well, you dig in.
And you have to have at least 2 or 3 of those when you're thinking of killing experiences. At least 2 or 3, along with everything else.
Dig in. It's not worth whatever losing this 8 out of 10 to find out if 9 or 10 out of 10 exists. Even if you find it, dig in. I'm not. It's only so much gambling you can do. If you put a 20 in the slot machine and you reach 1,000, stop playing and go home.
That's it.
Don't look for 10,000. Go home.
Take your winnings. Take your winnings.
You started with a dub, man. Get out of there.
Get your ass out of the house because the house always wins.
Oh, they coming for you. They about to put the vacuum on in a second.
That's it.
You up. You ain't supposed to be this far up.
Yep.
So that's what it is with men. You know what I mean? Like when you get to a point, dig in. Be done with it. You won. Take your trophy and go home.
That's it.
Be champ forever.
Take yourself a nice ice bath. You know what I mean? All that.
Somebody will get the ring next year, but you got your ring. Go home, put it in the case, and be done.
How about if a woman can match or equal or maneuver in the handy position as a man does? How do men view that, or you think men view that?
Me personally, I mean, if she's as good as me in that, well, I've never seen that. I mean, me, but I mean, I would see it as a bonding opportunity. And there are some things that my wife, for example, has taken interest in. Let's say staining furniture. You know, like we go to a thrift store or a flea market, or you know, you just see something on the side of the road, a piece, you know, and it just needs a leg and some new bright work, and you know, some 80 grit, 120 grit, 300 grit, and then some fucking,
that's what that is.
you know, Rust-Oleum or whatever. Yeah,
that's what that fountain is, man.
Something like that. You know what I mean? Like things like that. That's a project. That's something to do. It's dope. It's not we're sitting there. It's not I gotta go spend $350 at a restaurant. It's not we're sitting here looking at each other bored.
Right.
It's something to do.
Right.
Together.
Like with that, all that had to polish it up, dust it off, replace the pump, and that's all. Doing all that is something to do together. And if you're doing that with somebody else that's handy, that's great, man. That's a good bonding experience. That's a good date.
And she can either learn from me,
Charles.
Yeah, she can either learn from me because she's obviously interested in it, or I can learn from her,
That's
which
exactly
is fine. I mean,
Yep.
huh?
I was about to say, just like Charles's point, that's exactly how
Yeah,
competition, brings you together.
how exactly? So that's the way I see it. But again, it's that abundance mindset. But yeah, 100%. If she's handy like that, fine, very well. Let's do it.
Do you think that? And I'm going to Charles's statement. Do you think that is a deal of know-how? Like, if you feel, not saying us on this panel right now, but if you feel she knows more than you, that might push you apart compared to bring you
Yeah, if you
together.
don't know shit.
I would
I mean,
say,
is that
Yeah, if you don't know
intimidating?
shit.
hypothetically,
Yeah, if you don't know shit.
I mean, I would find that fascinating. I'd be fascinated because, like Aaron said, not to toot my own horn, but I have not come across that.
He knows a lot of shit. So I would be the same way, right? Like if a woman was really good at woodworking and carpentry, was way better than anything I could do, teach me. Because when we go work on the car, right, you're not going to hold a candle to what I can do. Or if you can work on the car, great. If you're better than me, show me that shit.
You saying you don't know nothing? You got an empty tank of
That's
shit.
what I'm saying. If you
Yeah,
don't have nothing, if you don't know anything, that shit's going to intimidate you.
yeah. But
Because
if she
it's
has
not
a
going to be
skill,
it's not going to be anything that.
but if she has a skill that is different than yours, or even in the same line of yours, but just has a knowledge of it, and you have knowledge of it, that would be the bonding moment because you like we can now bounce ideas off one another and learn
Bill.
Yeah,
from one another.
Yeah, and
100%.
Bill.
even if she's superior by a mile, that's fine. Because I have some basic know-how to where the lesson that she teaches is going to have to start advanced. Because I know what a Phillips head screwdriver is and how to hold it.
Now, do you think
I
that
know
she
what
would
a
find that moment to be uh, sexually arousing in its own way
well, it would
in that
validate her.
bonding moment?
have some kind of maternal thing going on there.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, sure. Or at the very least, feel validated and appreciated. Because,
Right.
right, in this world, that's not something that women are going to be typically applauded for. So for you to show interest in that, say, hey, that's really cool that you can do that. Show me, teach me. Now you're seeing value in something that now her self-esteem, her confidence, her sense of validation is increased because you're seeing something that she obviously is interested in and you're acknowledging her ability in a positive manner. But if you don't know, if you can't hold, if you don't know the difference between, you know, a metric wrench and a standard wrench, if she goes sends you to the box and said, I need a 3/4 inch opening wrench, and you come back with a flathead screwdriver.
Oh, you're gonna get embarrassed.
Yeah.
You'll get
She
embarrassed
can.
yourself,
That's
and
not
she
a
will
good
embarrass
situation.
you.
If you're working on a car and you don't know how to do anything but change oils and tires, and that's it, and she's going to show you how to replace a head gasket, at least you can go to the damn shit and get a 14 millimeter socket with a 3/8 inch drive to pull a valve cover off. Now she's going to show you how to pull a valve cover off, but you can find the exact tool. So you're not going to be as intimidated. You're there to learn a lesson.
Sure.
And when we're done with this, I'm going to go show you how to frame a wall. Right?
Yeah, man.
We're gonna nail something up.
See, does not
Go ahead.
knowing a skill better than your partner make you look down if it seems amateur level? Not knowing a skill better than your partner.
Does not knowing the skill better than your partner make you
Better
look
than my partner.
down? Yeah,
Make
if
you
it seems amateur
no,
level.
no. Go ahead. Yeah, y'all answer that.
I think if you go in big headed, right, and not willing to learn, then it's probably going to be something where you're going to get looked down upon. But I think if you go in with an open minded and willing to learn and embrace the skill of your partner, and I'm speaking from both genders here, I think they'll be more willing to teach, and then you're trying to absorb the lesson that you're getting. It goes like well, Aaron and I, we have this culinary thing, and when we get bored, I like to get in the kitchen and bake. And my partner isn't a scratch made from scratch baker, so when we incorporated, sifting powdered sugar to make homemade icing and how that all worked. And if you didn't sift it, it left lumps in the icing. That became fascinating in the simplest form for her because she was like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know that." Right? It was just a simple lesson, right? But it became
Yeah.
more of if she would have came in like, "Oh, I know everything. Like this is how you make this," and then she made icing and it was lumpy and clumpy as hell and dry and didn't have the correct ingredients. Yeah, I think I would have like, you didn't know how to make this shit. But we're going in and you go, I don't know how to do this, and I'm gonna show you. And even speaking on me, if she has a green thumb, green Jolly Green Giant daughter. She has so when she goes and showing me about plants and the type of dirt and pots that will work for certain different type of plant life, I'm all intrigued about it and how their living habitats are and why you place them around the house the way you do. I'm all about learning that type, even it is because then once again I'm going to translate that into food, and then we're going to talk about making a place to grow our own tomatoes and how does that work and cucumbers and so on and so forth. So I'm going to take that way of you're teaching me about how to grow vegetation and then translate that over to food, and then how can we grow our own stuff. And of course you'll have no more know-how than I would to even start something like that.
I
Jay?
would say along the same lines, something you alluded to earlier, or I think no, I may have about changing the tire. Now, if it's to the point where you're sitting in the passenger seat and she's out changing the tire, you should be embarrassed, and she should embarrass you. Now, but if you say you don't know how to change the tire, and if she has to show you how to do it, and if you're out there doing it with her, as alluding to what Will was getting at, and if you're doing it together, learning together, I would say it would not be as much of an embarrassment. But I've worked with a lot of mechanically inclined females throughout my career, and I will say from experience with them that maybe about 75 to 80% would embarrass you if you were a complete amateur and if you were in that situation with the tire. So yeah, I would say the majority would, but then the minority would. If the minority is attracted to you enough, they would overlook that.
What about you? So you're saying
Okay.
you wouldn't look down because the questions is make you look down, even if it's would you look down
Oh,
or no?
if I'm instructing, no, like me personally, as as a leader in the community and a somebody who's taught, who teaches, I try to have the mindset of if they're my student or they're receiving any kind of information from me, then I should do my best to have the patience and the respect to try to make them comfortable enough to absorb the information that I'm telling.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with the both of you in a hybrid sense. If I'm advanced at something, and if someone were amateur or even intermediate, I wouldn't look down on them at all. Even if they're a complete novice, I wouldn't look down on them. I would look down on them if they came at me talking about their advanced
But then
and
don't
they're
do.
novice or
Oh,
amateur.
they'll get dragged. They need to get dragged. Yes, sure.
Yeah, like if you approach me if you're on some advanced shit and come to find out you're nowhere near it, and I can deduce that from the
Oh,
perspective of being
through
advanced,
action. Hell yeah.
then I'm going to look down on you. But I'm not looking down on the ability that you have in whatever the discipline is. I'm looking down on your ability to assess your own ability.
And the arrogance. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking down on. I'm looking down on your self awareness,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Now, if I'm a novice at something or if I'm an amateur at something, I don't see myself as beneath someone that's above me. I see myself in a position where I have an opportunity to learn,
Ooh.
to get good. Here, like I like to say, I don't like have an issue with being wrong. I like to be wrong because to admit you're wrong means you've discovered the new right and you've confirmed it. And now that you've done that, you ain't gonna be wrong about that shit again.
Sure.
Now the issue is if I know something, if I'm really solid on something being right, you're gonna have a time proving me wrong. I mean, it's gonna have to be obvious. It's gonna have to be. You're not gonna fool me with some dumb shit. It's gonna have to be very clear
Mm-hmm.
that my shit is not fact. But once I've arrived there, then I will jettison any hold on what I had that was wrong.
Sure.
It's the same way I look at ignorance. If I have an opportunity to learn, I have no problem emptying my cup. Teach me shit.
Sure.
Because once I learn this, and teach me with an empty cup, you know what I mean? Because that's how you master shit. Once you've mastered it, now you're at the advanced level, and you're never going to get to the advanced level without starting with an empty cup.
Mm-hmm.
So I always go in hungry to learn. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit how this makes me look. Because when I'm finished with this school, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna get everything I need from it. Yes.
Exactly. So
Yes.
I think we might have a guest coming in a moment.
All right.
And I think we might have to be quick. I don't think she's going to have a lot of time, but I think we can get a question answered.
Okay.
And while we wait, let's see. We have another question. How do you respond when you get the opposite reaction from your current stances from superiors who might be slightly higher, intermediate level of understanding? When I get the all right, so I'm assuming this question asks when someone isn't quite advanced, but they're high intermediate, but they're looking down on me because I'm not advanced or on their level, then I just find someone that's above their level, learn from them, and then circle the block on their asses. Or I just sit there and let them down me all they want, and I observe them and learn. Learn everything, you know what I mean? I'll pull it out of them. Show me how much of a novice I am. I'll do it wrong just so they do it right. Just so I can see them do it right. You know what I mean? And then once I see them do it right, then I'll come back around on their ass with an improved method. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's all about abundance mindset and leveraging folks to, you know.
Oh wow! So we're getting we're getting new pop up windows with Angie's and everything, and we got
What's going on, Angie?
we got
Hello,
Queen Callie's in the building.
hello.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies. Thanks for joining us.
Okay,
Thanks for
of
coming in.
course. Be here. What's going on?
Nothing to it. Welcome.
Thank you. It feels very warm. Very warm welcome.
Good. Yeah. It is extended with great warmth. Welcome to the War Report. You know all the people on the panel. There are a few in the chat.
Okay.
You know a couple of them as well. I'm hoping Callie can show up. If not, hello, Callie. Great personality in the space. I know you don't have much time, so
No.
I guess we'll get straight into the question.
Okay.
Just so that the audience has an idea. You're obviously a young lady.
Mm-hmm.
What your age group
20s,
is?
like specifically, or just
Yeah, just your group.
Ballpark.
Early, mid, or late 20s.
like 23 to
All right. So early to mid 20s is who you're representing.
Yeah.
And so the question is it a lost art, or is there no longer value in a woman or in a man being handy, being able to do things like change a tire, change oil, small home repairs, light plumbing, things more advanced than replacing a light bulb.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, is that something that women don't acknowledge anymore or don't see any value in anymore? Or
I don't know. Like it depends. At least speaking from my age group, I don't think that's something that is spoken about as often, but I think it's a really neat attribute to have, I guess you could say. Like, I think those are things that are really important. And I guess it's because like women my age group now are starting to show like their independence more, that I guess they're starting to do it themselves. So there's no need, which I feel like that's why it's not talked about as much as far as like men changing tires, and I don't hear that very often. So it's a good question.
Really?
No, not at all. I don't hear anything. It's crazy. Uh,
So, do you think if women were to encounter it, do you think they would appreciate it, even if they're able to do it themselves? Do you think it is something that women
Has
would see
value.
value in?
Yeah.
um, I
Be
don't,
honest.
cause I mean, like, I guess chivalry would be considered dead now. So
Oh wow. Okay.
it's not necessarily something that is appreciated as much in like today's time. And I could be wrong, but this
No,
is just
you're absolutely right.
definitely
Well,
my
From my
Wait,
experience,
wait,
anyway.
wait, 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 wait. We have her here. We want to hear her
Oh well,
complete side.
I'm just acknowledging
No,
her
no. But I want to
her
hear her
points.
complete side. I want to hear her complete side. I want to
Sure.
hear, and then we'll come in and ask her questions to kind of like pull
Well, I'm
out
not going to
more
remember by the
information.
time. Sorry, but you
yeah.
know me. You know me. I don't mean.
Go
I'm
ahead.
not. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I have a
uh,
1,000 questions, but I want her to finish.
okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely like I
So
said, like
you left off at chivalry.
yeah, chivalry is definitely dead. I think it's definitely unappreciated. I don't think that like modern day men I don't know, like have do you guys see like modern day men like kind of picking up those skills more often? Um because if it's not picking up and it's not being shown as much, then I think it's kind of hard to say if it's like valued or not, because if it's not being shown, then how can you really say if it's like appreciated more? I hope that makes sense. I try not to be so like vague about it, but
No, it makes sense, but your
okay.
question points us in another direction. I think it's a good direction.
Hmm.
Okay.
Is it more because is it savvy over resourcefulness? If he can get it fixed in an instant without having to do it himself, is that what's out there now?
Um
Is an app
what,
for that kind of per se, right?
like what's the context? Sorry. I like
Oh, no,
11.
like even changing a tire because there's an app to fix it, right? He hops on his phone, someone's coming out to
Right, right.
fix it. Is
Hmm.
all right, or um, if there's a electrical problem in the house, there's the app for that. It basically is what I'm saying, right? There's anything he can want to do now can be fixed on his phone. Is that where it's turning to? And it seemed more why that the chivalry seems to be dying per se.
I would say so. Like it's definitely a lot more technology. So instead of relying on like your handy skills and being like, oh yeah, like I could change a tire, instead of just going on Google and being like, oh okay, like I can have somebody do it for me, or I can look up how to do it. It's not, I don't know like how to really explain it per se. Um so I don't
No,
want to
you're
like
explaining.
question and then it's not being answered in a concise way.
N- no, you're good.
Okay.
I think the issue. No, you're good. I think the issue is that we're not. We got to look at this from the front end going backward,
Mm,
rather than look at what's causing it. We can get to that in a second. We got to know if it's even happening. Would you say? Would you say that women would have an appreciation, or would they see value in it if all of these circumstances didn't exist? Do you think
for
there's still, or is there just a deliberate decision to no longer value it?
Ah, that's a good question. It's a little hard to answer, but I'll put my 2 cents in. From what I've seen, I don't think that it's valued enough because I feel like it's very important to know.
No,
Um,
what do you think would be the case? Like
uh,
if it were prevalent, you're saying
yeah,
it's not valued because it's not prevalent. I'm saying
right.
if it were,
Um,
Like if you or any of your friends were in a car and
Yeah.
the tire failed,
Right.
and you pull over, and a man and one of your male friends hopped out and got it cracking. 20 minutes, you're back on the road.
Yeah.
Would
It
you
would
see?
definitely be
Would you and your female friends see that as a valuable? Would he be
I
looked
think it
at
would.
as okay? You know,
Yeah, I think so.
You got
Would
a
it be
keeper?
the extent
right?
that we're talking about now? Probably not. It'd probably just be one of those things. Oh, he handy. Oh, okay, but not necessarily
Right.
like, oh, okay, like he know how to change a tire, but it's not something you, like think on, and it's like, oh, this is a valued skill that he has, and
No. Well, your reaction,
yeah,
Is he
just
a keeper
that
or
first
no?
response is enough.
I would think
Is
so.
he, you
Him
think
It's
he's a
not
keeper?
ignored, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. No, not at all.
Yeah.
And it's noticed. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely noticeable.
Yes. Yeah, as long as it's noticed and acknowledged as an ability that you know what I mean, it's appreciated. It's like, oh, okay, he did that,
Yeah, like okay, look at that.
right?
Fix
And you
tires.
said
As opposed to just whatever. Like it could have been AAA. Who cares?
Right.
It's
and you said,
something that
wow.
it's something like if you followed that experience with, is that something you'd want a husband to be able to do?
Absolutely.
You and your friends would probably answer with yes
Yes.
or no.
Yes.
So it's valued. Okay, that was you see what I'm getting at now.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it not? Is it the problem that maybe it's not feel is being celebrated enough? Maybe, and maybe that's a wrong choice of words, but something along that
No.
nature.
I think it's definitely not being celebrated enough because
Yeah, now we're getting into that.
it's definitely it's something important that I mean men should know and that men need to know. I mean if we're talking about like gender roles here, but like I definitely think that is important. But yeah, it's not celebrated enough. Definitely feel unappreciative, and I feel like that's what men want to feel is appreciated and needed. So
Okay.
celebrated and like how you know what I mean? I don't
Is it
it's-
in your group, in your age group?
Yeah.
You know, there's a gap between us, right, and age group. Is
Right.
it that maybe the way that it is being expressed from women, men aren't receiving it as a celebration, but it could be celebrated, just not being translated into a celebration? Like the way you said it before was like, oh, he did that. Maybe young men are receiving that as a minute celebration, to minimal, to none, but it's still being celebrated, but just not, a standing ovation per se.
Yes. I will answer that question with yes.
Okay.
Do you think that's why men are diminished? Do you think that's why men are less and less interested in learning these skills?
Because of the not being appreciative or like the
Well, the
on
diminished celebration. Yeah, right. It not being as dramatic a celebration.
yeah, definitely.
Good choice of
Like,
words.
if I'm not going to be appreciated for these skills, then why am I going to? What's the point in learning them?
Or appreciated enough.
If they're just going to be looked over, then what's the importance? And
Or they
Something
learn
that comes in my head.
learn the
I'm
skills,
sorry.
and they learn the skills, and they just won't share them with people anymore. That's
yeah,
kind of
definitely.
that's where I'm at. Well, for the most part, anyway.
So like with you and your friends, right? You go, oh, he did that. Him being your man, you would, I guess men would be looking for is like, oh, that's my man. He did that,
Right.
right? Like a isolation of celebration. Now, I don't want to say pedestal because that's a little too much, but somewhat of that feeling, like, oh, that's my man. He could do that.
Yes.
You would be proud of him.
If he was able to do big skills.
Yeah, you and your friends are out, and he saves the day somehow.
Yes.
That would give you a sense of pride. That would lock you in just a little tighter to him in the relationship.
Yes.
It's confidently answered. All right. So what that tells me is there is a great deal of value and attraction that women see, because what that question does is it cuts out society.
Mm-hmm.
When a woman can look at a man and this that she's already dug in with, and he saves the day,
Mm-hmm.
for that to increase the level of pride and attachment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got a question. Where does those skills rank on his hierarchy of being a top choice as a male? Excellent question.
It's a me.
Excellent question. So,
Can I go?
just
I
as a
have a real life
backdrop,
moment. I have a real life moment when I went on my screen was when I'm done wrapping up here. Guess what I have to do, fellas and Angie?
Plumbing work.
I have to go fix something.
yeah,
So in that value of where that is, I mean, my personal, it has value, right?
Mhm.
It was important enough to bring it to my attention that something needs to be fixed, right?
Mhm.
And then
yeah.
that shows that there's value in it and the appreciation of it. And I said this before you came on to the panel, Angie, was I think
Mhm.
it is very situational. If we're in a world of technology, a fireplace means nothing. If we're in the wilderness, a fireplace and wood means everything. And I think that goes to the changing of the tire and the celebration of it and the applaud it either it gets or doesn't get.
Right.
Yeah, I think the circumstances have to fit the environment.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
not, I'm not expecting someone to get recognition for doing something that doesn't even apply.
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but like learning how to change oil, and
Mhm.
you motherfuckers got a Tesla.
Yeah, that's an
You know, I
obsolete
mean, that's
skill,
nice, but yeah,
unfortunately.
right. But if if you have a diesel powered pickup,
Mhm.
oil changing skills.
Or a 2009 Civic.
Yeah, right.
They go
Even
far.
something as that, right?
So the question, we're back to the
Yeah.
question.
So it says, where do those skills rank on his hierarchy of being a top choice as a male? So, given just as a backdrop, given that the top two qualifiers that we all know to qualify a man is provision and protection,
Mhm.
right? Um, how high, if you could, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is being industrious and in the realm of
My
being handy, being able to, yeah, for yourself, yeah. On a scale
oh,
of
well,
1 to 10, how important is it for a man to be handy?
I would say a 9 for me personally.
High. Wow.
I would say
Okay.
a 9 for me. Um,
That's pretty. See, that's value. See what
yeah.
I'm saying? That's a
That's
lot of
high
value.
value.
Remember the
How about
minority that I was
in your
talking
peer
about in my
group? How
analogy?
about in your
She's the
peer
minority.
group? In your
Okay.
peer group.
There's nothing wrong
I'm sorry.
with learning some life skills. Yeah. Yeah. In your peer group, your
Where's
peer
that?
group,
Where's
how do
that
you
work?
think they would rate?
Let's
one
go
to
with a
10.
consensus. With a consensus, you're a 9. Let's go a group of your 10 friends that you can kind of pick their brain. You know, where do you think
Yeah.
that falls into play?
What do you think the average would be?
Yeah.
1 to 10, how important is it? Are you frozen?
Oh, I thought she was thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's frozen in think mode.
Hey, Angie, I'm gonna drop you. Come back. Just hit the link again. I hope she can.
And she's probably giving an amazing answer.
If you can hear me, Angie, I'm gonna kick you from the studio. Just hit the link.
Has an amazing answer.
Is that
Denise said
because
it's
of the
important
bandwidth?
to have a life skill.
I don't know. No, it's not me. It's hers because you guys are streaming fine.
Denise said it's important to have life skills.
Well, yeah, she said there's nothing wrong
Nothing
with
wrong.
learning some life skills.
Sure.
Overall.
Yeah.
And that might be handy, right? That might fall into the category of being handy.
Well, handy would be one of the life skills. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Joel. Saw you pop up a couple times, Joel.
Yeah, there's some folks in here, man.
Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Hit the like button.
Hit that like button and subscribe. Turn the
You have to say that every
It
now and
helps the channel the most.
As I'm paging through my Haynes manual now, and gentlemen, if you do not know who a Haynes manual is, find out. If you don't have a Tesla,
yeah. If you own a motor vehicle,
get you one of these.
get you a Haynes manual.
Is this one of the things I can't hold up? I don't know if this on the list or not.
No, you're fine. You're
Okay.
fine.
It
You're fine.
can't hurt anybody.
I don't have a Haynes manual. I need a Haynes manual.
It's pretty much the factory design blueprint Cliff's Notes.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
See, I'm all right with being vulnerable with what I don't know. That's why I have my brothers here. And we always say that when one of us don't know, the other one knows or the other two know. So we never leave ourselves in the dark.
Never.
And going in with an empty cup, we're always willing to learn and teach one another. Get you a group like this, A1 Wolfpack. If you don't have an A1 Wolfpack, tune in. We'll show you how to have one, how we operate amongst ourselves. Hit the like and subscribe button so you know you get the notifications every time we get on. You can go ahead and tune into this Wolfpack and show you how we operate. Hey, Jay, welcome back.
There she is.
Just segues perfectly in here.
Technical difficulties.
So we're
All
at
good,
the
all good.
overall
And I know you.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know you got limited time, so this is just the last question.
The overall consensus,
Okay,
where's the average at? Where's the average at? You're at a 9. What is your peer group that you personally know? Where would they come into play? What was the average of that value of overall the handiness of a man?
I'll keep it safe and just say a 5, only because it's smack dab in the middle. Because I don't know.
Don't play safe.
So I'll just say.
All right. So
Well,
something that we
your
I see what
friend.
you learned from. Yeah.
We don't do some. That's what we learned here with Aaron and him being on other shows.
I have to
are
change
we
the way I
saying
answer
majority.
too. Yep.
Majority, is she freezing again? Angie, don't freeze. Is it
We don't
majority
do
or minority?
Hold on. All right, what happens?
Calibrate. Okay, I'm here.
Mhm.
One more
You're-
time? Okay.
yeah.
Sorry. I'm going to say 5
So
for I'm going to say a 5.
playing it safe and saying some
I'm saying 5
doesn't move.
because I don't know. Like, I can't
You don't
really
have
answer
to
that
know.
question with an absolute because
It can't be.
You don't have to.
Majority, minority.
Guess. I don't think she can.
Yeah, technical things are happening.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna make. I mean, for her to say it's a 9 in importance, that's pretty profound. And then for her friends,
yes.
I want to say
Yeah.
a 7. If I want to put my own interpretation, I think it's higher than a 5. I think it's a 7.
you mean her friend? Yeah. I would say. I was gonna say I think that's a safe bet. Angie, you're frozen, so I'm gonna remove you. I think that's a safe bet. Just go at 7.
I'm gonna go with Charles the 6.
6 or 4. Charles said 6 or 4. He was.
Yeah, well, he just wants her on one side of the 5 or the other.
Okay.
Is what you know what I mean? That's essentially saying minority or majority.
Yeah. 7. You saying 7 is still safe? Not being safe.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think.
Because 9 is so high. I can't imagine there being that many low numbers to drag it down. If her friends are like her.
Oh, okay. Her. Gosh.
Well, right, like-minded people stick together. So.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up?
What's up,
What's going on?
Hey.
Coming on.
Yeah, not a problem. No, I was more asking for if she felt that her friends were more with her, closer to her, or like saying, it's not that more important. So that's why 6 or 4 was the reply.
Oh, wait, yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. That's majority, minority. Yeah, I figured that. You're trying to get her on one side of the. Okay, right. Now we got. Callie Bev, what's up?
Oh,
how are you, dear?
Oh, look at this.
Hello.
That's a record right now, man. We got a clap for that. No, we got it.
Yeah.
Look, this is the most all our band ever since we started.
Welcome, ladies.
Welcome,
ladies. Welcome, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I must go, but I hope I was able to answer the questions in a way that y'all can understand and gain a new perspective.
Sure did.
You did great, and we're grateful you.
For sure.
You joined the panel. Come back again. You're always welcome.
Of course. Thank you. Y'all have a good night now.
Have a good
evening. All right. Take care, sweetie. All right. Callie, what's going on?
Nothing much. Chilling. Ate my little din.
Oh,
awesome.
I'm gonna be Beverly today. Okay.
Oh,
That's
okay, Beverly. All right,
being serious. I'm gonna be my real name. Be
I can
Oh,
dig it. I can dig it. Well,
what's I just have to ask, what's the difference between Callie and Beverly?
Callie will troll you.
Oh, okay. And Beverly's chill.
Beverly be chilling.
Okay. We appreciate
I
Beverly
mean,
tonight.
Callie be chilling too, but she returns energy.
Callie sounds like fun. She speaks to Maverick. I'm just saying. But
No,
good to
but
have
yeah,
you anyway. Thanks for joining us.
no problem, no problem.
yeah, this is
Please give
really.
your
I
insight.
didn't get the notification though. I know that.
Huh? You didn't get a notification? I
No,
put it up. I put the thing up earlier today.
I just I hit live to see who all was live, and yours was the first one to pop up. Sure, but I didn't get the push notifications. That's what I was looking for because I know
Wow.
I clicked the bell.
Yeah.
From you, does that come from
Yeah.
YouTube?
I put
Pardon
it up
my
earlier.
ignorance.
Yeah.
Oh, Chuck. Yeah, Chuck. Yeah, oh, yeah. There we go. He probably has the speaker. Is probably. Yeah. No, I put the thing up. I don't know why. Oh, maybe I'll have a look at that. But thanks for telling me. But for
No,
me,
I'm sure it's YouTube and their algorithm. I gotta get you guys in my algorithm good, but
yeah,
I know I clicked the bell, so I don't understand why I didn't get my push notification.
yeah,
The
yeah,
algorithm always switches up to things. You have to do things you don't even know yet. So
yeah. Well,
we'll
for
figure it
me,
out.
this is big. I'm glad you're here. 'Cause we've interfaced since I've showed up in this space, and you've been in this space as long as I've been watching it. This is like a celebrity is at the panel, y'all. You know what I mean? This is yeah. For
This
me,
we
this
made
this
it.
is like
This we made
if
it moment.
yeah. This is I appreciate it. Appreciate the support.
Thanks for
Um,
making me chop liver.
what, Chuck?
No,
You know what though? Yeah, and I was saying
you
that you weren't
pioneered.
here,
He
but
pioneered.
earlier I was saying there was who was it? Almanize and Love W. I was like the people that are here and Charles Colder. You guys, the support since our first episode is really appreciated.
Thank you.
Like more than you know.
Thank you so
Because
much.
these are the dark days. We're gonna look back at this and yeah, man, when we had like 2 people watching us and when nobody was watching us, but these are the people that consistent,
Sure.
beginning to end every week. You know what I mean? This is what keeps us doing it. This is what keeps us moving towards 100,000 subs, starting at 100. So we really appreciate y'all. Really do.
Nobody has more consideration that people are trying to do good things than us. We
Yeah,
if it wasn't good at content, you wouldn't be here.
yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank
Much
you.
appreciated.
That means a lot right there, especially as
And
a
Rilla,
beginner.
this is another OG in the space. He's a celebrity. I have what do they call that when you celebrity you get
Oh,
giddy and shit. Starstruck.
Starstruck.
Yeah. Really, he's another one. Just to see his name in the thing, and I put the link. I hope it's the panel. He's more than welcome
I
if
know.
he's
I know.
still here.
Nori says he's having a fan moment. I'm having a fan moment
I'm
right
having yeah, right, yeah. But no, man, I love and appreciate everybody. Man, we got both our wives up in here. This is dope. So this is great.
Yeah, I want to
Um,
hear
yeah.
Callie,
So
aka
the topic.
Beverly's. Yes, I want to hear her perspective.
Beverly, no, not Callie's not here.
Beverly.
Beverly
I'm
is
so used to it.
here.
No, I'm
So
calling her both.
what do you think is on the topic? What's your take?
I think I immediately thought of because I don't know if you guys watched South Park, right?
Mhm.
Well, they're not doing like the individual episodes anymore. What they do is they put out specials and they probably last about maybe 45 minutes to an hour long. And the one that I caught was the one where Stan's dad, his wife was telling him to fix the stove and everything, right? So he was like, "Oh, we gotta go ahead and fix the stove." Stan has an older sister or whatever, and what he was doing was he knows how to fix it, sure. But the first thing he did was pull out his phone. Now, Stan's dad is Gen X. I'm assuming, right? But what the first thing he did was pull out his phone and try to call a handyman to come and fix it. So, but the progression of that was basically all of the handymen ended up being like super rich because nobody wanted to fix the daggone stove themselves. And the person that was paying the most, like somebody else had asked him to ask the handyman to fix something, he stopped what he was doing right in the middle of the job and went to go to the person that was paying more money and go ahead and fix their problem. So, the handyman was riding around on rims and everything like that, like, because they're Colorado. So they had like the little hick looking pickup trucks, but they had rims on it in junk. They logo on the side of the truck was like in glitter, you know what I'm saying? It was wow. It was just an extra out version of pretty much what we're seeing now, is that the people who do actually know how to do it, since we do have the technology now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick up our phone and we're going to Google it, or we're going to have somebody else come and do it because we feel like we don't have to anymore. And I think as it went down through the younger millennials down to the Z's, it got lost in translation where they don't see us doing it anymore. So therefore, there's really no interest in it. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to pick up my phone and I'm going to call somebody to come and do it. Not necessarily that it's not valuable per se, but the skills are not there. They don't see it. I see an easier path. I'm going to take the path of least resistance. And I think that's basically what it ended up being. Now, at the end of the episode, since all the handyman had a monopoly on everything that was going on and they were just going for the highest bidder, he ended up fixing the stove itself at the end of the day because he knew how to do it,
Right.
When he was trying to teach his at one point he was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna teach you guys how to fix this stove, right? So then he said, what you do is you pull out your phone and you type in Google. That's what he was teaching the kids.
Oh man, that's
It
insane.
was hilarious. But I think that's ultimately what ended up happening. Although we do probably know how to change a tire and everything like that. Well, now we have this thing called AAA and we have 511. 511 is free. I don't even need no membership for that. I'm
Wait,
gonna go
really?
ahead. I'm gonna
I
call
know about that.
511 and I'm gonna
That's
have
real.
them fix my tire.
That's real.
Well, I know. Well, I don't know about nationwide, but here in Georgia, yes, we do have 511, and they will come and they'll change your tire and they will give you a jump too. Those are the only two services I've ever used them for. Even though I
Wow.
do hate AAA, AAA be taking too long sometimes, and 511 is just easier.
And you don't have to pay a premium or anything when they come out and do that. It's all free. Wow.
511 is free. That's paid for by the state.
It
Wow.
is. That's interesting. That's good to know. I'm taking note of that. Seeing how we might be able to get it up here. That's what I do.
Yeah.
How often do you think that 511 is used from your peers and yourself?
I think that well, I could say it was used frequently. I don't know how frequent now because I work from home, so I'm not on the road to see the little hero trucks out and about anymore. But when I used to have to do that commute back and forth to work, you would see the hero truck quite often.
And there's certain. So this is the last question because I go all day on this because
Senator Pete's.
Right. I'm trying to figure out how I can get this for my community. This I never knew this existed. This is crazy. And there's resources for this stuff, and we just have to know how to get them. That's all. But anyway, just one question. So there's specific trucks that you see that you recognize. Okay, that is a 501 truck to go to change the tire.
Yeah, it's a special truck. It's you would mistake it for an ambulance if it wasn't for the fact that it was lime green.
And wow, it's very noticeable. Okay, sorry. One more question and I'm done. And so they do tire changes and jumps, and I'm assuming like if you ran out of gas, they probably would do that too. Just like basic car, like jump your battery or change your tire, something like that.
Yeah, just to get you off the road because Atlanta traffic is horrible. Get out of the way, you know.
Gotcha.
Traffic can resume.
Say Cali became 411, so you can learn 511.
There you go.
That's
There you go.
Hey,
that should be
way
put
to
on a
put that.
t-shirt. That's gonna be my catchshphrase. But
Yep,
oh,
it's
that's
funded through the Department of Transportation, I believe.
well. With that being known, I mean, me personally, I'll call 511 if it were available up here. I would. Man,
Yeah.
since AP time. But right now, no, I have to have my tire patch kit, my emergency, my emergency tire inflator. I gotta have my emergency jump starter, all of that, like in my car, just because, just to be prepared, And I know barely anybody has that kind of stuff in their car, much less knows how to use it, So having that service up here would be invaluable. That's good to know.
It's I think that like okay, so like certain people will go ahead and they won't cut their grass. They'll have the lawn service come. I think that I don't think women have a problem now. Just granted, just full disclosure, I'm 40 plus, right? I'll be 44 this year.
Aren't we all? Well,
And
yeah.
what you call it? I think it's more so along the lines of it's cool to have somebody else do it, somebody else do it. But if your man is having to call somebody else for like everything, like every single time something has to get fixed, then you gotta call somebody else. You have to outsource the service. That's when it starts to become, problematic or a turnoff. But as long as you have some kind of skill, I think it is appreciated, celebrated. Can't necessarily say that on a wide scale, but I would say it's definitely appreciated.
That seems to be the consensus, that appreciation may be lacking, but acknowledged and appreciated, but not celebrated. You know what I mean? Like the appreciation isn't as expressed outwardly, but it's still seen as a value, right? And in a certain circumstance, like when you're in it, you would want a man that can deliver. That seems to be it's not a lost, dying art. It's just not,
And it's recognized.
headlining.
It's recognized if the man does have the skills or if they don't have the skills, pretty much.
I mean, some kind of skill.
But there's no outward
man to get up underneath the sink and be a whole plumber or anything like that and changing oil and everything. But if I go ahead and I buy these blinds, I would want you to be able to.
There you go.
Basically, yeah. Mark the
Hang
hole.
a picture.
Mark the holes. Drill. Have a drill bit to drill it. Drill your hole. Have a hammer and a nail to install the picture. That's all you need.
And anecdotally, especially because me and my aunt we call her Bob Vila. That's what we call my aunt. Okay, because put it like this: she bought us a power drill after we got married. That's my aunt. Okay, even though my uncle can do these things, she just enjoys doing that kind of stuff. So when we got these blinds and everything for our old house, I took a picture of him. Like, you remember that episode of the Cosby Show when Cliff had on that, he was trying to fix the tile and he had his little tool belt on and everything, and Claire was like, "Okay, I see you with your little tool," but I gave him that, cause he did that. I took little pictures and like, okay, he handling his business and putting up these blinds. We ain't got to call Lowe's to cut. That's because at the end of the day, it ends up costing more money, and I'm a penny pincher.
You got to be these days.
Yeah, I think that's where it kind of can be annoying for me anyway, too. Like, if you got to call for everything, now we just spending extra money at that point. Do it yourself. YouTube University is a great resource.
I use it all the time. All the time. Yep. Yeah, that's great, man. That's good to know. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm glad you see.
I just think the convenience of everything is just rotting our brains. Like I knew it was a wrap when you remember when you could be able to in the house. You remember you used to have to remember everybody's telephone number, and
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
that way you could program the number in the phone. All I can do is just push a button. Now everybody stop remembering people's telephone numbers because they got used to just pushing the button on the phone. I think it's
Yep.
the same thing with everything else.
You know, the crazy thing, I remember numbers that I remembered back in the day, like my home phone number. I remember Aaron's home phone number and everything, you know, a couple restaurants nearby, but I can't tell anybody's phone number on this panel right now. Barely even my
Me
barely
neither.
even my own number.
Yep.
You know? Yeah, man. So so again, it points to this thing right here. Make everything, and again, this everything that you need in life is at the push of a thumb. That's it. Everything. If I wanted to order food, I could have some within a half hour just by this thing. I don't have to cook. If I needed my car fixed, like you said, within a half hour, this makes it happen. So that's a very, very valid. That's a very valid point there.
I learned how to change
So
my
we
car batteries by watching YouTube.
And that's the other side of the double-edged sword because I learned a lot from that too. I learned a lot of how to fix things from watching YouTube videos too. So that's the other side of the sword.
As far
so
as
is
the
being
sugar
resourceful no longer needed?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Well, if you guys are pointing to basically technology and basically the fact that we share information to basically supplement for not being resourceful. That's where we're at in the
Well,
conversation, correct?
me personally, I was pointing out the fact of that's just the logical fact of everything that we need can be gotten by the cell phone, but at the same time, when the power goes out, your battery dies, the signal is no longer there, and you need to cook something and you need to drive your car. What are you going to do?
Right. That's where I think that's where the younger generation automatically looks at why they specifically say provision is the most important thing out of everything. Because if you can't provide or you're not making a certain amount of money when shit hits the fan, and so you're not even going to be able to have the resources to even service it out to somebody else.
Right. So to answer your question, no, that does not make resourcefulness invalid by any means. But I believe a lot of people think like that, but that does not make that point any less important at all.
Okay, I was just trying to follow the logic of it all, because I understand that you
Sure.
guys are saying, oh no, it's great to to have the resources of others at a whim itself, but if the reason why we have resources from others at a whim is because we want to make sure that we are retaining it, and that's the whole thing about, I think, what technology as the internet has provided. We don't retain the information, we use it for when we need it and then keep moving.
Sure. Yeah, right. And like I said last time, it's so much information we're being inundated with so much information. And I was just making a point that is in no way whatsoever will being resilient and knowing how to do these things be invalid whatsoever. It's just that is my passion. That's every day I live that. I'm trying to learn new things every day, and I believe most men should. But and the importance of that should be emphasized more these days, I believe.
The problem is that you don't have to do it. So even though you could go to YouTube University and look up how to do it yourself, well, now I don't even have to go through the trouble of looking through the yellow pages anymore. I can just go to my smartphone and just read reviews of the best handyman or whatever like that. And at a push of a button, I can set up an appointment online without even having to talk to anybody.
That's it. But I remember on the other side, a couple of days ago, we lost power here at our house in our, with the recent storms that came through. And well, first of all, I'm resilient enough to have a power bank to be able to power the most important things, not a generator, but a power bank. But second of all, I just thought these storms and everything they're going through, they're getting much more intense, and they're hitting cities much harder. Like Houston got rocked by this last storm. Some people are still picking up pieces from that. And so I'm just saying, like the people that live in those areas, they really need to tap into being a little bit more resourceful because this right here, this runs off of signals and towers. And what storms like to do, they like to knock towers down, they like to knock power lines down, and you won't have this anymore. And the way, like with the way global warming is and everything like that, you really need to be on point with knowing how to live without this,
So it's funny you say that because it's kind of sort of the genesis of this conversation happened earlier. Hamp on This Might Be Risky was talking about when, he's in Houston, and when the storm hit him, he had several examples of when the know-how helped him.
That's why that came to mind. Him.
Right. Yeah. He went to Home Depot, right? And found, a freelance worker in the parking lot, and he brought him along, and him and this worker got a lot done, but without even knowing why to go to Home Depot and what to get, like what the job required, and then how to get this guy, how to work in tandem with this guy to get the job done. What I'm saying is he didn't pick up his phone and call a contractor and spend a shitload of money,
Right.
5 figures on and did a lot of work, tore all the floor up in his house, got a lot cracking, shit was falling. And so he really, to your point, he really manifested the importance of that in real time. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Yeah, but
his shit was topsy-turvy.
Right. And when you never worry about that until it happens. Like it's like insurance. It's like, damn, I pay all hundreds of dollars a month for this insurance, but when you need it, you need it.
Well, see, and that's why I kept asking the question: do we think women appreciate it when they're faced with it? Right? Because no one appreciates. Look, I don't appreciate food when I'm not hungry. I'm not even thinking, you know what I mean? Like you can't, the question was never, is it something that women like actively look for in a man? I'm just saying that when she's faced with a man that can kind of save the day, when things have gone a bit left from as planned, can he clean things up without having to pick up a cell phone and waste a bunch of money? Is that appealing? Is that valued? Is that seen as, all right, like I want that on my team? And so far, the answer's been yes.
Now that we're breaking it down like that, I like in my world that I told you about earlier, my past couple months or whatever. It seems like with the insurance analogy, like they don't see the value in those kinds of things until they critically need it.
That's fine. And that should be enough to galvanize a man to go out and train himself to do it. Right? I mean, how much validation do you need?
I would say, like, as I keep circling back to, like knowing those skills for myself is firsthand. But
exactly.
But as far as what you said, like that's definitely a good close second.
Yeah, as long as it's acknowledged that it exists,
sure,
and acknowledged and valued and appreciated when experienced.
Right. Now,
when you're not experiencing it, that's fine. You don't have to say anything about it. Just acknowledge that it exists.
No.
But when you're experiencing it, value that shit and appreciate it. And so far, the answer has been yes, yes, and yes.
Now, Miss Beverly, have you ever, not to get too personal or whatever, but have you ever been in a situation where a man had to go to, tap into that?
Well, yeah, he hung blinds, right? And she was like rolling out.
Well, no, not like more of a more critical situation. Like
I mean, that's shit. That story was good enough for me.
No, nothing critical like that. No.
And you're blessed to not have to. You know what I mean? Like that's good that you didn't have such emergency. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got close. One time there was a storm that came through, and at our old house, there was a lot of, we stayed right on the tree line between our subdivision and the apartments on the other side of the tree line, of the wood line.
Are you near the coast? Not to cut you off. Are you near the coast of Georgia or more inland? Just curious. Don't have to say exactly where, but.
I'm in Atlanta. I live by the
Oh,
airport.
yeah. Okay, so that's more, a little more inland. Okay, gotcha.
Hmm. And a storm came through, tree fell, but it fell on our neighbor's fence and not on ours. So we got lucky with that one.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like the closest call we ever had. Other than that, let's see. Let me see the last time he got up on a ladder. Oh, the last time he got up on a ladder was he had to change the batteries on our security camera.
Mm.
So
Well, those are important to security cameras. That's good. That's good to know. So he hung those, or see, there you go. Just to be able to do that, man. That's it right there.
See what I'm saying? Just those little things, man.
Kudos to that man.
That's the stuff. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So women aren't expecting men to build homes from the foundation up, but just to have some type of know-how to be at least maintain certain things at a certain level. It doesn't have to be a master carpenter or a master electrician or mechanic, just some type of know-how. Is that?
And to set up a security system.
I bought a new shower head. Can you put the new shower head in there? Little stuff like that.
That's it. And yeah, right. Oh man, a little Teflon tape, just screw it on. That's it. That's it.
And that's what I always say. Just lightweight Phillips head, flathead, open end wrench, close end wrench, ratchet socket. Just just basic knowledge of that, and how just keep life moving smoothly and maintain, without dumping money into frivolous shit.
Sure. Be able to maintain the security of your household, all of that.
Yeah, just rapid repair. Get the car back on the road. We're coming home from dinner. It's raining. The tire blows. All right, we gotta get back home. No need to panic.
So, Miss Beverly, like the men in your travels, like besides your husband, do they possess these skills at least enough to hang a security camera on the wall, hook it up to the network, and be able to monitor the house, or hang a picture up, or replace that shower head? Just curious if the other men in your life,
great question,
how to do that if you navigate in those areas.
Yeah. His friend group, those are basically the men I see on a day-to-day or whatever. Well, as much on a day-to-day as possible, because they got their own little families. But yeah, they can go ahead, they can maintain their stuff, and they have those kind of skills and everything. I don't necessarily know about the ones younger. The one younger friend that he has, like, he's been cutting his hair ever since he was a kid. So it's like we really should be hanging out with his mom and dad and not him, but he's the one that ended up being the friend.
Once a man gets a barber, that's a barber for life, man. Let me tell you. Jose, shout out to Jose. Desert. You'll see it.
But yeah, he just has an old soul. We pretty much just wrote it off, wrote him off as dad. He has an old soul anyway. So the younger ones, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
So are these skills associated to old souls? Because you mentioned old soul.
Well, that's just how we classify them, because you got to have a certain old soul to be hanging out with people that's like twice your age.
Sure. What was it? We've been doing that all our lives too, man. So
yeah, that's how we came up.
Our OGs were, yeah. So wow. Guess that's
the best way to extract wisdom.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, listen. That's why we think the way we think.
And remember,
because we always trained and punched well above our league, man. Always came out the womb like that. The three of us.
My nephew, he is, well, it's my best friend's son, but that's like my nephew because that's like my sister. But
like,
he
has some
skills. he has some skills, but I kind of just attributed that to our friend group, birds of a feather and all that kind of stuff. So like any males outside of that, I really can't tell you about their their day-to-day and what kind of skills they have, because I don't really know them like that.
Sure. No, the insight that you provided is very reassuring. Just man, wow.
Very.
I thought we were worse off than what you would have said, man. It was great.
Yeah. I mean,
On the
I just hope
chivalry
that the
note,
world around
though,
us.
Wait, hold on,
Huh?
wait, okay, no, let
Oh
me
well,
finish.
yeah.
I'm trying to hear this too. On the
no,
chivalry note, what's
on
up?
the chivalry note, because that's more so with strangers, opening doors,
Mm-hmm.
saying thank you, stuff like that.
Sure.
I don't know if it's just because I'm in the South, but the young men open doors still.
Wow. Wow, really? And you appreciate that, acknowledge and appreciate that.
Absolutely.
That's
I
great.
say thank you with a smile.
Damn, see, I wonder if that's the difference between the North and the South, because up here you'll do that, and they won't even look at you twice. No, thank you. No, it's like it's expected and not even acknowledged. Like that's one of the things that's seems to be expected, not acknowledged, and not respected up here. But that's good to hear down there too.
I'd say probably out of like 10 guys, maybe one will like if he's walking in front of me and we're both heading out of the convenience store, then maybe maybe two will let the door swing back, and I'd be like, motherfucker, I'm you saw me, you know what I'm saying? But majority of the time, no, they open the door, so they'll hold it open so that you can walk through. Now the females, on the other hand, I don't know what's wrong with some of these bitches. I don't know.
I told
It's
you, Callie is
weird.
the shit.
Oh,
I
I'm
told you,
telling
I'm
you. Oh my
starstruck.
God. Because that's awesome. Because I'm not going to go on a tangent again and beat that dead horse.
Beverly.
It's yeah. The streets, as far as that's concerned, are toe up out here. Toe up completely. What's that? Because yeah.
I'd say I would flip that, like out of 10 women or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say two of them out of the younger ones now. Two of them will say thank you or will hold the door. Or like I held the door open for one chick and she walked through like I was like I was invisible or some shit, like doors just like
that is she just described it. Yes, that 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10. Well,
Now
acknowledge
I say
the rest
something.
of
Like,
8.
I didn't have to hold the door. That's just me. You're not gonna walk by me and ignore me, and I was being nice because, and I don't want anything in return other than acknowledgement, right? But
or like a little wave when somebody lets you pass in the car.
We from the north, so I don't have a cup out, and I know that's everywhere in every hood. I don't got a cup out begging for $1. I did this because I was being kind, and in return, you could have just acknowledged my kindness with a thank you, or even a smile. You don't even have to. The eye contact could say everything. That you just acknowledge that I held the door for you. But I'm like I react fast to rudeness. And
now that's my husband.
I do.
I understand.
He'll be like, "You're welcome." He'll say something like
that's me. That's me. That is me. You're welcome. That, but you have to let them know one some way or another. You know what I mean? Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. And then after you say that, then they'll be like, "Oh, thank you," and he'd be like, "Oh, okay,"
Why we had to go there? You did not.
Exactly.
You just acknowledged when I did it the first time, or would you see my act of kindness and just reciprocated with some kindness? That's
just acknowledge.
That's payment within itself. Yeah, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
A little acknowledgement will go a long way.
I think that's what we had with this topic of this conversation and the handiness, and why some young men let it fall by the wayside is because of the lack of acknowledgement, right? That's where we were like alluding to in some of this.
So in the door holding analogy, right? So you say, 8 out of 10 will, not even acknowledge that you did that. 2 out of 10 will show you gratitude. So I would say there are, out of the 2 that will, I would say subtract 6 and put them into the totally ignoring to leave 2. And there are 2 that get offended by you actually holding the door open. I've seen that too. There are 2 out of 10 women, or in my experience, I don't know the way to put it is the independent woman movement, all of that.
Well, walk your ass back in there and hold the door for me. Shit, let's do it again.
They will be, they'll be offended by you holding the door open for them. So it's like, what? So it's like, well, I have to run into an experience or two like that. It's like, well, wait, what the fuck do I do? what do I do here?
Go back in and let her do it. Let her shit.
Well, on the macro level.
I've never seen the offense piece of it. What do they say, or like what do they say to you, or how do they look at you when you do hold the door?
It's just like you hold the door open and it's I would say not said, but it's just like, well, no. Once it I could have got that myself. I got it. Something like I got it. Something like that. Like that was the energy that I got. So that has been the least of all. That's been the least as far as the door openings that I've been through in my life. That has been the least amount of events in that department that I've had. But it's been like one, maybe two. That's been like.
See, I'm an asshole. You can't say that to me, because I know you could have got it, but you didn't. You slow.
Well, me personally, I said some. So I may have been in the mood that well, fuck you then. That was my response. May have had a bad day, who knows? But that's the type of response that I believe that deserved. I'm sorry.
We're gonna strike that from the record.
Right. You get the I'm sorry. With me, you get the energy that you put out. And if you're gonna get offended from me, open the door from you, and look at me and try to, I'm gonna respond in the way that I responded.
I would have said, yeah, I didn't know you could. I didn't think you could get it. You don't look like you can figure out how the door works.
see that. And you know how we always say we bridge the gap. And Will, you said you respond to disrespect in a certain way. Like I can keep it together, but there's certain things that will set me off to bring that side out, and I understand. And that side that the Mr. Chill Out side came out of me that day instead of the Mr. Aaron side.
I look at that as more as sarcasm, and I would just meet that with some sarcasm. Like, I was already going through the door. Like, what's the big deal? If I'm sorry you're having a bad day. I don't know how many people never opened up a door for you. I'm not going to kind of like feed into that energy that way. It's more like people who I think more being ignored would tick me off more than someone just like, I got it. Well, I was in the door too. What do you want? Like, is it more rude if I let it close in your face? Or hold the door open, right? The Iceman would come out in me and ask the question: is it more rude that I let it slam in your face or I hold it open? Because what are you mad at, really? What are you really mad at?
You just didn't strike me as being competent enough to know how to figure this out, so I figured I'd give you a hand.
I figured I got it. I'm here. I'm here already.
I'm gonna bow down to both of y'all's wisdom on that one. That is. I can see how that's the better path, man. That is the better path.
It's like that anger thing is like almost like what they're reaching out for, right? For they're having a poopy day. Let me have somebody else because I showed you an act of kindness. You want to be, extra ignorant to me. I don't get it. And
no, we're gonna make the day poopy. We're gonna make it
right.
Poopy. That's how you want. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's get poopy.
We're gonna make
it. Let's get it poopy.
With me, there's like certain energy. I'm like, and there is the the Shaolin, the meditation energy that will go through life. The humble, the Buddha. I have that. That's there. And then there is the normal navigate through life energy. But then there's the energy like, okay, you want that? That's what you're gonna get. And I'm going to project that energy onto you because that's how you came at me with the sword drawn. I'm going to cut your head off. And there's that, so that's kind of where when it comes to like somebody throwing a bar, and that's I think that's the political thing in me. That is, somebody throws a barb at me, I got to throw a bigger barb, and I've got to totally, completely eradicate everything. Like there's no discussion after what I just said. And that's kind of where in that situation, I think that's where that came from. And I think I was probably coming from like a political event or something like that to whereas and things got testy, and I was in that kind of mindset, and that's where I responded and such. But I can see how I could have responded better, but that's where my line of thinking goes as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, you a samurai to my ninja. With me, it's like you pull a sword out on me, you're gonna fall on it.
Oh, this is gonna. Hopefully, this won't hurt anybody. Oh, see his mic. His mic. My one. That's hard though. Shogun with the K bar. I mean,
I am so mad right now.
What's up?
Oh
What's
my
going on?
God.
What's up, Beth?
You dropped your L?
I went to the freezer to go get my ice cream so I can let it melt a little bit, and I think they didn't put it in my cart. I think my ice cream is still at the store.
Oh shoot!
I am so mad right now.
Oh, that's BS. No, you got to get your ice cream. You got to get your ice cream. And if we
Yeah,
had
but
ad
that
libs,
was-
I'll play Wu-Tang ice cream right now. But
But how is that gonna go over? I still have my receipt, sure, but how am I gonna prove that I never did get my ice cream when I go back up to the store?
how far of a drive is it?
It's right down the street, but it's 11:30 at night. I can't go up to the store right now.
Is it closed?
No, it's not closed, but it's too late to be going to the store.
She's
Well,
like, nah.
Yeah. I mean, as a man, I'm like, I'm gonna go out and get my ice cream, but 11:35 at night you're not gonna go by yourself, right?
If I was gonna go to the store, I'd be going by myself.
Nope, don't.
No, talk it up.
He sleep already, so yeah.
I would, if the store is open, I would call the store just to let them know, hey, I purchased this item and I think I left it in one of your carts, so they can verify it. So that person that was there can verify it, and then go back in the morning and say, hey, I talked to X, Y, Z last night. I left the ice cream. Here's my receipt. I'm just looking to pick it up.
Or they may
That's the move.
They may send somebody to even deliver it too, if maybe
they offer that service.
Right. That's what I would. Because
I'm finna go check my trunk
right
one more time.
Oh, if it's out there, it's melted. You can forget about it.
Well, that's kind of halfway what I wanted. I wanted it a little bit melted.
You're not gonna have ice cream. You're gonna have a milkshake.
You're gonna right. Milkshake with chocolate dribbles in it.
And it was Haagen-Dazs too. Oh, I'm so salty.
Oh man, no, you got to get your ice cream, man. If it's not in your trunk, you got to go back to the store. Not tonight, but you got to get reciprocated.
You got
with some Haagen-Dazs
for your ice cream.
Man, I'm so salty right now. I'm still listening. I just had to let y'all know that.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and you craving that ice cream for sure.
No, because you got to be craving ice cream now too. Something very cold and ice cream like with some. I got water ice. Oh man, I'm gonna get me a bag of water ice. That's.
I have a water ice in the freezer right now that's been waiting for me when the show first started, but I couldn't get to it. So, and it's not the chain one. It's the home kind.
Oh man, yo, that's like Rosati's or something. The Rosati's, man. That's that shit.
It's not your chain water ice. It's
Do you know what water ice is?
Sugar and water.
No, Callie. Beth. Or Chuck.
Oh, she walked away.
No, she's fine.
You know what water ice is, Chuck?
What'd you say, guys? I was talking about that.
What is water ice?
Yeah, see? See, they don't know.
I have no idea.
What? No, repeat what you said. I didn't hear what you guys said.
Give me a minute. I'll be right back.
Do you know what water ice is?
Water ice? Like, no. Oh, well, the only thing I think it's a company, from I remember.
Oh,
I'm over here laughing. Y'all can't say it because I'm eating, but
no, I'm sorry. No, I thought you were being sarcastic. That's why I was like, water and sugar. Like, what are you?
no, you know what it is. But yeah, when he said water ice, I'm like, I don't think they know what that is.
Is that why? Chuck, where are you from?
I'm from New York.
Yeah, he knows what water ice is.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Icy?
No. like I don't want to the chain place, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The only company that I know is Water Ice is the one that actually does ice bags.
No, see,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
know.
No,
So I'm
no.
a little lost on what you guys are talking about. Water ice.
See, no.
Italian water ice. You ever heard of such a thing?
Oh, so
Jesse's about
didn't I just say icy?
No, icy. Well, we can
right,
say
but it's not
icy
an
right out
icy.
the machine. You know, like a slushy
Yeah,
machine.
but
Is not.
we go to a pizza shop itself, and that's what they basically use. It's the Italian ice.
Jesse's getting ready to get it,
Yeah, shaved ice is one thing, and then Italian water ice.
but it's like between shaved ice and sorbet. It's not as smooth as sorbet, but it's way smoother than shaved ice or a snow cone.
Yeah, I understand. That's what I said. It's an icy.
No, that you can drink. You can't drink water ice.
Is that like when they I see it like with like street vendors or whatever. They'll have like this really cold slab and they'll spread it out real thin or whatever.
No,
Spread like the cream out real thin or
No,
something, and then they'll
No,
roll it up or
that's
whatever.
rolled ice
that's
that's
cream.
rolled ice
that's
cream.
Yeah,
no,
so
that's
so I don't want to promote here, but we talking about kind of rhymes with meters, right?
yeah.
Like that kind of thing. But we have different like corner stores in Philly that sell them. That are
But guys,
way
why are
way.
not? Guys don't call it Italian ices because literally they used to be sold in pizza shops. So that's why I call it an icy itself.
No, we call it water ice.
Because we have ices too.
Yeah, we have ices.
Okay.
Ices refer to like the cousin of the slushy, where this is a
Yeah,
drinkable beverage, frozen beverage.
Okay.
just
This
thicker. Yeah,
so
it's like a
this
slushy. Yeah, but
this
thicker.
one is like he said perfectly. It is not as rich as a sorbet, but it is not as thin or frozen like the slushy cousin. It's in between them.
And you need a spoon. You can't get it with a
Yeah.
straw.
Right.
I'll be right back. I'm finna call this store. I'm gonna take y'all
Get
advice.
your Haagen
Yeah,
Dazs together.
yeah.
Get it together. We
Good
understand
luck.
Haagen Dazs. Yeah, we don't call them Italian water ice. There's actually a company called Philadelphia Water Ice, which is way better than the. Personally, I feel is way better than the chain version.
Okay.
So we prefer to go to the hole in the walls or corner stores that have the Philadelphia version of it. Do you have a water ice in your
Yeah, I do.
presence?
So that's the same with cheesesteaks, mind you. We don't go to the Pats of the Genos up here. If you ever come to Philly, don't ever come to Pats of Genos. That's
Don't go to the
commercial
tourist
brand
spot.
shit.
Yeah.
Go to a local person and ask them what's the best
It's
cheesesteak
the,
spot, and they'll take you to the best spot in the hood. We know
I,
all of them.
I
But yeah,
usually go out to Ishkabibbles or
yeah.
Yeah, there you
what's
go.
another one that I hated. We waited in line one time and it was like 2 or 3 hours and I was very upset about it. The cheesesteak was
Personally,
good, but it wasn't worth the 3-hour wait.
Were you
it
on
was.
South Street? Were you on South Street like Ishka Bibbles?
It's probably Jim's if that's the
He's
case.
probably talking about gyms.
It has like a bar area on like the end after the cheesesteak.
Did
Oh
I
no,
don't
you
know
talking
Jim's
about
did
talking
that.
about Max's? No, Max's ain't
Max's.
Oh, Max's. Oh, Max's.
Yeah, it's more
I'm
like
sorry.
East Max's.
Me personally, Max's is overrated, man. Me personally.
No, Max's is in the
Okay.
eyes of
I'm glad that a fellow North Phillian said that, man, because
yeah.
I didn't want to I didn't want to disrespect, man. But yo, I mean, everybody, Max's, and I went there like
Fuck
3
Max's.
times, man. I went there 3 times, and
Max's
it was trash.
It's
I'm sorry, it
trash,
was trash.
bro.
My
It's
bad,
trash.
guys. I don't mean to make you denounce
No,
the establishment in Philadelphia.
It is what it is, man. I'm sorry, it is.
no. Listen, we gonna eat good food, and we're gonna send you to the direction that has good food. If it's not good, it's not good. And listen, all those staple spots that they try to affiliate with us Philadelphians is not it. We don't like Geno's. We don't like Pat's. We don't like fucking Max's. We don't like what's the John that we just said?
What's the other one? You said Max's. Just Jim's is cool, but I wouldn't break my neck to go there right now.
No, none of them. There's a pizzeria.
No, wait. One thing I do have to do have to say, the original Jim's. Now, the original Jim's is not on South Street. The original Jim's is off of like 60th and like it's Spruce or something. It's in the West Philly hood. Like it's deep in it. And I took my
Master.
Yeah. 60th and Mass. Right. Exactly. Matter of fact, when the vice president came, that's where she went to go get a cheesesteak. Was there. And I took my man from Chicago. I took it. That's the place that I took him, and he had a great cheesesteak. And it's different. Oh, fuck Tony Luke's, and yeah, fuck. It's not. It's called something else. It's called like Nick's, but fuck that place too, because that's trash as well. But for other reasons. But anyway, long story short, if you're gonna come to Philly, if you come to Jim's, go to the one in West Philly off of 60th and Master. That's not that came before the one on South Street. Like the one
we don't do
everybody knows.
Primos either. Fuck Primos.
No. I mean, in a pinch, I will go to Primos. I can't front, man. But.
No, I had a bad experience with Primos, but we don't like Wawa's either. Like I don't know why they say that. Like we don't. Wawa is not a good sandwich. I'm sorry.
It was not. It was before. It's not now. Ever since it got. What's up?
Mama's off City Line.
What? No. It's a no.
I've had Mama's.
Mama's off City Line, Dollar Kenwood, insane.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You know, and off of 54th, Chubby's, off of 54th, the City Line. No, that's a spot. That's a spot. That's one.
And
that's
if Chubby's is too crowded, D'Alessandro's. They chop the meat
Larry,
too much, but
Larry.
it's still good.
Larry's, my bad. Larry's, my fault.
Larry's is good. Larry's is good.
Chubby's is awesome too. That's across from D'Alessandro's.
Which is good.
If the line is too long in D'Alessandro's, it's well worth walking across the street to go to
Chubby's. Either way.
And a beer. Either way, you'll be good. Yep.
Either way. The tent in Manayunk is dope.
Oh, is that still a thing? I think they made it into a building. Remember they were building up across?
Yeah.
I think they had
the ice cream shop. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they made that. They made their spot now, man.
6 out of 10 pizzerias. 6 out of 10 pizzerias in Philly, you'll get a better cheesesteak.
You'll get a decent sandwich. Yeah. You get a decent sandwich. Glenn, yeah. Look at this. We just found this out.
Oh, what? Okay, I gotta try that.
Top 10. This shit is stupid. Top 10.
Top 10. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Up here, forget about it. Great sandwich. It was like Chubby's, D'Alessandro's, Tent, Mama's, Jim's. It's up there. It's Abner's.
You know what I miss?
Hey, you know who makes a good cheesesteak? Me and Aaron. You gotta try.
Oh shit! No, we need to collaborate because I be in the lab.
You got the slice machine. You got the griddle.
Me and Aaron.
Matter of fact, I remember under the circumstances of which we did it. We off of camera. Let's discuss that because off of this. Let's discuss that.
Yeah.
Because listen, my birthday is coming up, and I remember the last time we did that was, I believe, it was for my birthday, right?
Wait. We can wrap this up. Hey, wait. Count. Yeah. Since we get,
this is got your ice cream. I got the water ice though. I don't know if they. I'm pretty sure water ice.
Hold on. Was the chain called Roses over there?
What's that? For what? The water ice?
Yeah.
No, this is one of those brands from the supermarket. But,
I know yours is a brand, but I'm saying, is the chain over there called Roses? I can't remember the chain.
Rosetti's is the one. That's way better than what I have in my hand now. That's that homemade stuff that Mr. Chillout was talking about.
No,
Rita's.
Yeah.
Rita's. There you go. Rita's.
Yeah.
Rita's is the water ice stand, but what I would say, the name Rosetti's. If you see that in a supermarket, get that one.
We don't like that one.
What? You don't like Rosetti's?
No, not Rosetti's. I'm talking about.
No. Yeah, right. So yeah, we don't like Rita's. Go get Rosetti's. And if you don't know about Rosetti's, come to me and I'll show you.
Now, Rita's isn't horrible. I wasn't trying to promote them, but they're not.
Been there in years.
They're not great either. They're okay.
This is better than Rita's, and I got this from the supermarket. So.
No, I just guys, I spent my college years in State College, as well as Schuylkill, as well as I used to be I was at Penn State and I was a vice president. I used to have to go over to each campus itself, and we have like 26 satellite campuses. And Rita's is the only thing that's currently across the state you can always find.
Yeah.
If you ever find yourself in Philly again,
unfortunately,
hit us up before you do any of that. We'll put
my light bulb just came on, right?
Uh-huh.
Just I know that the DMP conversations on the Black YouTube sector is it's not very large compared to the rest of the population, right? Like
Mhm.
everybody ain't watching the DMP conversations online, right? However, the message still spreads to a certain extent. So, based off of the conversations that are had by the men that I see, per se, um, and just how technology is going and everything, where you don't even have necessarily the need for that, I think that it's going to end up looking like the South Park situation. You're just going to have a handful of people, a handful of men who do have those skills to, the plumber, the electrician, stuff like that. Because those type of jobs and everything, they'll preach to the younger dudes that, hey, even though this is a good job, the girls don't appreciate it. You don't need this. You need to get to the bag and all this kind of stuff like that. Well, they're not even going to be interested in going into that field. And then you end up with an Ouroboros where you just end up eating your own self up because the rhetoric is just going in the opposite direction of what it is that you're actually wanting validation from. Like you want to be appreciated for the hard skills, but then at the same time, and you always say women need men because we're the backbone of society and we build houses and all this kind of stuff like that, even though we're talking about an actual relationship, not men as a whole. Like I don't need a man as a whole. I don't need men as a whole when it comes to me being in an intimate relationship with one person. You know what I mean? You saying houses and electrical systems and grids and everything like that don't make no difference to me when I'm talking about an actual relationship, especially given that the majority of men are not in those fields to begin with. So,
Mm.
but you end up just shooting yourself in the foot when it comes to that in general as a demographic. And then they don't respect those jobs themselves. It's basically used as something to being black women over the head with, as far as you know you should like that, you should like that, and
Mm.
we know you don't, that kind of stuff. So it's counterproductive, long story short,
I'm
and it's
glad you
going to end up
said
making
that.
it worse. Hmm.
I'm glad you said that because that's something I never leaned on. I mean, I will always lean on men, the contribution to society and what we're capable of. But like you said, on an individual level, I've never leaned on that.
Mm-mm.
But I'm glad you said that because the less and less and less men are industrious and handy, the less they can lean on that. And
And then we,
I don't even think the reason why these men are becoming less capable, I don't think it's really women's fault per se. Because I don't know that I hold you responsible for being all applauding if the circumstances don't require you to be. Like if I just got done changing a tire in the freezing rain, you should be applauding my ass. But don't applaud my ass when you meet me and I'm like, yo, I could change a tire like the wind. Yeah, okay. Right? Like I don't need you to kiss me every day because I know how to work on cars until I get your shit back on the road, right? But men are still I think they're lazy. I think these I hate to say it. I think these niggas are lazy.
and I think that goes back to the point of being too that they they need to learn to do it for themselves before they try to do it for anybody else. Like as far as where the validation comes from, they need to go out to learn that skill and feel good that they learned it for themselves before they even think about outside acknowledgement for anything that they do. They
Well,
need
you
to
know
be
why?
secure in themselves for that. Why?
You know why they don't? Because it's all about the bag.
Well, that's a community thing,
That is a community issue. Yes, yes,
That
it
is
is.
it's a cultural issue.
And
right? Well,
that's
There's
not
more.
not about the bag itself, the fact that they don't even know the skill sets itself. That's why I said,
mm,
remember,
Well,
it's the tenants, the learning the tenants itself should automatically be saying if we have women that in a young age, as well as saying, hey, it's interesting to me or is something of value itself, those values should be taught to those young men prior to them even out. So we don't even sit there and blame them. We only blame them if they didn't go get to the resource. See, you just said that they were lazy, Aaron, and I don't believe that they're lazy. You don't know. You say if you're ignorant to something, you can't automatically say that. You can't automatically blame them for not having the skill set. The ignorant because the community doesn't automatically put you up. If you really think about it, has anybody taught you guys electricity when you guys were younger?
Say what? Anybody taught me what?
It taught you how to change things electrical when it comes to electrical wiring.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the situation that you were in to do so?
So
that wasn't in school, right?
Answer that, Aaron, and I'll come after you.
I'll put it to you this way. My father, how do I do this, Jesse and Will? This is just so my wife calls him Batman.
You have to know him. You have to know him.
Because you can't, listen, you could be on a plane and it could be going down because it lost one of its wings. And he'll reach in his pocket and find everything you need to fabricate a new wing and affix it to the aircraft before it hits the ground. Like every situation, it could be anywhere, anything. And anything goes wrong. Oh, I got the tool for that. I can fix that. And he produces it. I'll be back. It's out in the car.
In the military,
why do you even have that with you?
His job in the military was something I cannot even say right now. I don't feel comfortable saying.
He was on some Oppenheimer shit. He was on the Oppenheimer shit. Yeah, like way up. Like wild shit, man.
His name is JoJo Gadget.
Uncle Joe. Yeah,
let's put it there.
He's the reason why I love gadgets. Like I'm a gadget person. I have gadgets for everything.
His name is he's a real life Batman.
That's what that is.
Yep.
He's like Batman for real.
That's what that is. JoJo Gadget. And that's about as simple as you can get. That's who he is.
Okay. All right. So that's something that you had in your home itself. How many people in
my blood?
Oh, right. In your blood. Okay, you got it. Is that how many people around you that you pass that skill on to?
Can I take this, Aaron? Can I take this? No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, answer the question. He said, how many people have you done that? And then let me get this after.
I'll start with the first one. Jesse, go ahead.
Okay, well, me personally, that's why in my long-term plans, and I don't mean to step into the politician's shoes, but this is what I want to do. Because my passion is in this, and I want to set up, I want to collaborate with, there's a local, well, it's called Public Works. They're the local municipal group that takes care of the streets, like everything from the sewers, the streets, everything like that. And what they do, they even take care of the vehicles. So I was going to try to set up a program with them, dedicate my own tools if I have to, but just to get something, find where grants would fund this kind of a program and get it to whereas maybe open up an auto hobby shop like we had in the Marine Corps. That's where I learned a lot of my skills. So what an auto hobby shop is, to those who don't know, if you own a car on base, there's this place you can take it to. It's got everything you need, and if they don't have it, to work on vehicles, cars, trucks, etc. And if they did not have it, they even had. Well, this was back in the early 2000s when I was doing this, but I'm pretty sure they're more advanced now. But if you needed a part, they would call AutoZone, and AutoZone would come and deliver the part to you. No questions asked. I think you would just have to pay for the part, not for even the delivery charges. If I'm remembering correctly. But anyway, long story short, I'd like to set up a program where I'm at for that maybe once a month where I'm there. I might be working on my own car, or there's a bunch of municipal vehicles. There's a bunch of vehicles. I walked a lot. There's a bunch of police vehicles just sitting around that you could use as resources to teach these kind of skills to the youth, to whoever wants to learn. So that is where I would like to try to, take this as far as learning and teaching the skills and sharing this with the community.
Which sounds amazing, but the only reason I even brought those questions up particularly is just to continue to remind people that yeah, the technology is moving us past things, and these kids are not learning things as the way that we learn them. But on top of it, we don't automatically have the resources to say, hey, you don't know this, go here. Instead of saying, you don't know this, you're lazy.
No, you misinterpret, I think, what I said.
Okay.
Because, all right, so part of the evolution or the genesis of this conversation on Ham's panel earlier, I was having a discussion with two guys that were aircraft mechanics. One was in the Air Force for 8 years, and the other one was in the Air Force, in the Navy for 20 years. And they're very capable, but they were the two that pushed back on this the most, and it's value, right? And I don't, when I say lazy, it's everything that they had was they would just rather something else. It's not about a lack of exposure or being ignorant to the existence of it. It's when presented with, they would rather just not.
Now, Aaron,
and when you ask why, it's because it's easier. Because I can just grab my phone. That's why getting to the bag is more important to make grabbing the phone a more of a sure shot.
Hey,
that's why I say it's lazy. If you
Aaron,
want the easy way.
No disrespect, and my name right here is derived from the Navy. Don't get it twisted. But now I kind of understand more. Like if you served on a Navy vessel with the Navy compared to the Marines, I kind of see where that came from now, to be honest. I mean, not coming at Eddie, not painting with a broad brush, but I'm just saying.
I don't know that. I mean, is it enough to have such a damaging perspective where it's like, I'd rather not? Like, is it enough to eclipse the tenets of manhood? Because this is like a reach down and grab hold topic.
Yeah, you were in the trenches with it. I watched what I was saying, but you have more content. But I'll say it has to be more to it. It has to be more to it than that. It has to be more to it than that. I'll say, man.
What just the deliberate desire to not and go the easy route?
No, that's not all on the Navy training and all. Not all on the Navy thing.
No. Again, I'm not attributing it to the Navy. I'm just saying he has the knowledge and the know-how because he was an aircraft mechanic in the Navy for 20 years. The other guy was an aircraft mechanic in the Air Force for 8. So what I'm saying is they're loaded with the know-how. Like they know their way around a toolbox, and they were the ones pushing back the most, saying it's not worth it.
It doesn't compute. I don't know.
I don't
know where that. I don't know what.
Telling you that this is what they said.
I don't know where that line of thinking comes from, and I don't understand it. Yeah, I don't know.
Because you're not lazy. It's laziness. Yeah. Like, why is convenience the only reason why you'd want to go another route? That is the definition of laziness.
I can't argue with you on that.
The easy way out. So I'm just going to predicate on conversation. The young men out here, that's kind of the belief. Now, I've not conducted any surveys or interviews, right, to verify this. But what I took away from the conversation was that they're saying young men are coming up realizing that these ways are antiquated ways that are unnecessary. And if you can find a service that will show up at your doorstep within a half hour and do it for you for a fee, why not do that? And that people value their time so much to where that's always
from the little
and that's why I'm like, you sound fucking lazy.
From the clip that I heard, looking at it from the left shoulder here, I'd say that may come from a place of conserving your time. And like I said earlier at the beginning of this conversation, like conserving your time, like having somebody else cut the grass. Well, I come up here and adjust my finances,
But does that eclipse the reason to at least learn and gain the skill? No. You have the option.
That's
right?
That's where I can't. I don't
They're
know.
blowing right by that.
I can't
straight to convenience. They're blowing right by that, straight to the convenient route from the gate.
If that's the case,
that's why I said lazy.
It does not compute. Yeah.
Now juxtapose that sentiment against why are women acting like they don't need men? Well, if you're just gonna pick up your phone to call somebody to do it, I can pick up my phone to call somebody to do it too.
And that to that point,
See what I mean?
that validates his point so much more now. I don't.
Who the lazy?
No, yeah, yours, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
get it, man.
that right. That's a self. That's exactly right. Amen to do that. Yeah, but no, that's exactly correct.
It might be showing up
You're right.
on our screens though, man. Because Aaron is straight to my left here, and it might. Either way, yeah. You're pointing to me right now. That's right. And you're pointing to Will. Yeah, Will. And I'm pointing to Beverly right now, right?
No. You're pointing to me.
It's different. No, see, that's crazy, man. It's different.
Go in settings. You can mirror your screen.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. See, you guys got to bear with me. I'm still new in these streaming streets, so let me get the controls. Camera. Oh, unmirror the camera. All right. Oh yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Now point at me.
Oh wait.
You're pointing at me now.
Well,
there you go. Bev, yes. Chuck, yeah. It works now.
There you go. That's gonna take some getting used to, but I'll leave it here.
Speaking of, I said I gotta go fix some things. It is now midnight, and I'm going to go take care of that.
All right. Well,
salute.
Yeah. Probably end it here.
Okay.
So before I hop off, I'm gonna keep it simple. In the words of Uncle Joe, get shit done. Because getting shit done ain't never done until you finish it.
Damn right.
Right.
I'm gonna leave Aaron. The last. I gotta get used to this. See, I'm gonna leave Aaron the last word. But I'm just gonna say off of the beginning of the podcast, just take a step back, man. Take a couple deep breaths and really think before you speak. And because words, once you let them out of your mouth, you cannot take them back in a lot of cases. And again, thank you for everybody who showed up on the panel, everybody who showed up in the chats. It's much appreciated. We love y'all, and salute to you,
Bev?
Mr. Iceman. Oh, Bev, yep, you're good.
Oh yeah, I'll give our guests a chance. I'll close this out.
Well, thanks for having me up, guys. I think it was a good topic. I didn't catch the whole stream, but from what I caught, it was a good convo. And I will look forward to seeing you guys next time you're on.
All right.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
again.
Now, your input was gold.
Sorry about that. No. Thanks again, guys. Like I said, we appreciate the content. I look at it more so of trying to see how to push forward and making sure that I'm doing something to help young men itself. So anything that you guys do, I can take from, or basically if I can bounce ideas off of and give some good insight, it's always great to talk to mods.
Excellent. Yep, we appreciate it. That's the purpose of the channel. And as you can see, we're action-based. We take this stuff and apply it in our real lives. And we're glad you're doing the same. You know what I mean? This is an uplifting, forward-thinking, abundance-minded channel. And Bev, your input was gold. It was valuable more than, even though, you came toward the second half. You gave some much-needed answers that we were deliberating the whole time. The premise of the show was propped up on questions that you answered. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And I personally appreciate you coming. It's the first time on the panel. You know what it means to me. So thank you.
Thank you. You guys are welcome.
Yeah, and you guys are welcome anytime. We love to have you back. I'll try to work on the notifications, making sure they're more efficient and consistent. But yeah, we love and appreciate you. Chillin' Mav, y'all niggas know what it is. And I'm going to take us out with my usual. If you don't know when you want to go, when you do go, you will find you have gone. So as for us, to go.